before it starts. I think we're good. I think we're alive. Hello. Well, I say hello. No one will be in dead on. We are only 18 minutes late because apparently I just can't do anything on time, and it's so very appropriately me. So let's have a little look at the chat, shall we? And we'll see what's going on, because this is the part that I royally suck at. I don't do these enough, so I am so woefully unprepared when they actually happen.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you should try doing more of them. Like, I think you should.
Yeah, I should. I always feel so awkward, like, talking to myself, though. Like, I know I'm technically talking to people in the chat, but it feels like I'm talking to myself.
I think if you did a stream, it would be big. I think it'd be really big.
Well, I have done streams before. Just, it has been a while. But I have done them before. I feel, I've done a couple of, like, playing games ones, and then I've done a couple, like, Q&A type of things. But I don't know if I've really had a stream on my channel with, like, a guest. Like, like what we're doing right now. I don't think I've done that before.
Well, I mean, I think there's an opportunity there for you.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool. Right, okay, now, it just goes to show how truly illiterate I am with technology that I've had to pull up there. All right, here we go. We got some people in. All right, hello, everybody. It's the belated birthday stream. How belated is it, you ask? It's 2 bloody weeks. So, if there is ever a symbol of my own ineptitude, I think we found it. It would have been last week. I got COVID. So unfortunately was unable to make it, and then Lucy got COVID the week before.
Yeah, before that I had COVID, so we were really just thriving.
And I was on tour as well. So it was my birthday. I don't want to say it was my birthday on the 30th of August, and I was traveling for wrestling. So I was like, I'll try and do it the following week, and then I got sick, and here we are. Wow, we got some people in already. So hey, Ash Breather, thank you very much. Hiki, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Kaio, Papa Kaya Blackwell, and PL from Scotland. My goodness, like, I mean, I'm in the UK. It is late and it is probably cold. So thank you for joining.
And thank you. That's so sweet.
Oh, and of course, one of our guests, while the other one is hopefully on their way in, I just spoke to them a minute ago, is the lovely Spiritvoices, my bestie, my business partner, my other non-binary sibling, who is joining me for this.
Hello. I'm hopeful that most people on this channel know who I am, but if not, I'm Lucy.
Lulu, I think it's fair. I think we can put my ego aside and think that people know your voice more than they know mine. I think that's a fair assumption. I don't think that's...
Maybe. I don't know about that, though.
No, I think it's reasonable. Like, and that's okay, you know. You've been doing this, like, consistently. You've been doing this longer than I have. Like, I've been doing it on and off for, 14 years. But, like, on and off is the emphasis. You kept at this for so long. Like, I think, you know, and I like that, though. You worked very hard at it at a much younger age than I did.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now I have less to do, and I've been working on it less. But
you've also been busy in life.
If my voice is more recognizable, though, I would imagine that's more because your voice is so, like, malleable. Like, you can sound so different from how you normally do. So I feel like...
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like you've had a lot of interesting variant roles that maybe don't necessarily just sound like you because of your range, but I don't know if that has anything to do with...
No, I get it. I think, like, Yumi and Ronnie have very different strengths, and that's what makes, I think, and Ron.
Yeah,
we can't forget Ron, Big Daddy Stone, Yanks, Ref. There's so many good talents. In fact, I'll probably be spending this shouting out other talents. By the way, gang, if the music is too quiet or too loud, please let me know. The current background music, for those who are curious, is Zen TV, Fruitager Aero Vaporwave Mix. I'm such a big fan of those kind of comfy ambient sounds from the 2000s. So just let me know if that's of a comfortable length. We're probably going to stream for about an hour, hour and a half max. Just want to make sure we hang out. And before I finish my thought, thank you, Kaio, for the birthday wish from Papa Kaio, Hobo Queen, Arian, Dante. What great names. What awesome names. And happy birthday from the Philippines. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate that. I hope it's okay over there. I know monsoon season is crazy right now over in Asia. Hey Justin, good to see you. And it is freezing, as Ashby just said. It is unnecessarily frigid here in the UK and in Scotland. Yeah, it's not even like cold. The crazy thing about the way especially for September, is it's only like I don't even know what it'd be in Fahrenheit. Hold on, what would it be in Fahrenheit? Hold on.
Yeah, sorry, you gotta do conversions.
No, you're fine.
To accommodate
it's
me.
not like, let me say this, because whenever I have this conversation with Americans, they always scoff when I'm like, it's this, and like, yeah, you should go to the Midwest. It's 43 right now. So it's not cold, but there's a frigidness to our temperatures, and like it's very strange, and it's come out of nowhere.
I will say, 43 is cold compared to how it was like a few weeks ago when it was sweltering. That's
we had hail,
change.
as Ashbury said. We had hail earlier. It's just very strange.
That's wild.
Yeah, and also for anyone who is in the UK right now, the UK, Ireland, and Scotland, is the Northern Lights. So I've already gone and seen them. You can see them, I think, over more than just the UK. I don't want to be certain on that, but like I've got a couple friends in Denmark who were talking about it, whether they saw it or were just mentioning it. It's you can't see it very often in the UK. I think we did have an incident earlier this year, but it was really, that might have been the Aurora Borealis, I can't remember. But either way, like, it was really nice, and it's a clear night, it's beautiful. You don't have to travel to Iceland, which you should go. But yeah, thank you, Gorky. I appreciate you. Ohayou gozaimasu. Dave Productions, Ethan, hey. I mean, and yeah, a typhoon. That's insane. Like, this is the thing, right, Chris? I got colleagues, friends, and family over in Asia, all across, and when I hear about monsoon season, I'm just like, nah. You know what? Nah, it's not a place I would want to live. Like, so beautiful, so chill, but the weather, like the humidity of like the summers, which I don't do well. Me and Lucy both famously don't do well in that kind of heat.
Unfortunately, I also have a lot of humidity, which I know you do too, because we were talking about it recently. But the humidity, bothers me so much. I grew up in dry Texas heat, so that's not my jam.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't realize it was a solar storm, Ash. Thank you for telling us. That's really cool. I love, man, like, I was gonna say nature. It's more like what's the word? Not nature. Space isn't really nature. Science. I don't know. Spatial phenomenons, the sun. That's just real. That stuff's really cool. Wild to me. Kaio, the Hobo Queen named him after the author. Dante, I'll agree. Because that's metal as fuck. Like, that's really cool. I was like raised Catholic, obviously not a believer now, but when you're raised Catholic, you never forget it. And like, we got shown the Divine Comedy, and like, there's something about like the art of like that whole thing is just beautiful, man. Like, you can go very deep into the minutiae of the harm that all religion does and whatnot, but man, there's some cool shit in there. And that was like, to think that the Divine Comedy was 1,000 years ago, like nearly, that is wild to me.
That is kind of inconceivable.
I understand if you can't stay long, Kai, if you're feeding the heathen spawn. I hope they're okay. Oh my goodness, Hiki, first of all, thank you so much. West Africa. Isn't that insane, Lulu? Like, how
that is
far?
Crazy. The range is wild.
That's wild. Thank you so much. I hope it's gosh, it's gonna be late there, because I think it's like 2-3 hours ahead, I believe, in places in West Africa. I believe anyway.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
But that's really, really sweet, Hiki. Thank you so much. I was trying to read the kanji in your name, and it turns out I can't read it, which goes to show that I really need to work on my kanji. Justin, $20, man, thank you so much. Like, you guys know this, and I always say this, same with the Patreon. When y'all give me money, it's incredibly appreciated, but always do it only if you've got the availability to. Like, you know, you being here and hanging out is all I need. Like, you could support me in any way. If you have that ability to do that, you know, that's wonderful. But just being here and just having 20 people, that's great. Like, that's rad to me. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
you know what I mean? Like, we just started too. Yeah, we just started, like, I mean, it's because it's the birthday. Like, that's birthday vibes right there. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean,
yeah.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Justin Hiki. Like, that's immensely appreciated. Thank you, Kaio, for the best wishes. And Kenzie. Hi, Kenzie. Thank you for the belated. Thank you, Level Man, for the belated. Francisco? Yeah, I thought it said Francesco. And Francisco with the wrench. Hello there. And Clue, 404 Clue has entered. A Blackwell member is in. What's good?
I feel a special connection to Clue because I came up with their backstory.
Yeah, we write. Well, Lulu and I have both written for the Blackwell scripts now. And we have we've like come up with little lore ideas for everyone, not just because we were like, oh, we've done the Blackwell ones, which obviously like the idea is that because people have put more in, we want to give them a bit of lore with the Blackwell, but we were like, you know what, we could do like 1 or 2 lines for everybody so that anybody kind of feels like they're. And Lulu's come up with some really cool shit. We have a master document that like says like what's going on with Kaio, Tabitha, Jackal, and Clue, and then I have a separate document for every tier and be like, I don't change those as often, obviously, but like I'm like, okay, they did this, they did that, you know what I mean? Like, it's
like Clue's the statue that came to life.
It's cool. I am gonna go through and make sure I reply to these. Obviously, Lulu is on the replies, but yeah, thank you, Francisco, for the $1, the $2. It's really sweet. Thank you so much. What was the thing I was saying before? Oh, that's right. About voices, yeah. Like Ronnie, Yumi, Ronnie, Rom, as the 4 main people who rotate the channel, and Big Daddy Stone. We've all got different like skills. Like I would say Ronnie is immensely soothing, like just a beautiful baritone voice. He understands pacing. He doesn't do that awkward kind of tone that some like old school narrators used to do, where he doesn't use emotion. He's like not overly emotional, but he's very peaceful, and obviously that's why he's the man. Rom just has all those lessons of voice acting and is just such an emotive and passionate voice actor. You've got a very unique kind of range in that, you know, you sound, I would say you sound older than you do as well, but you can also do like, you know, kid voices. You and Ron both sound distinct in that sense. Big Daddy Stone is just deep voice, beautiful. And then me, I think my biggest thing is range. Like that's, I don't mind not having a baritone deep voice. It'd be nice, but my thing is that, you know, when people hear me, they know they're getting a varied kind of voice, or, you know, hopefully it's acting and not acting. Yeah, like, I mean, the 10 Little Scumbags one we did recently is one of my favorite things we've done, where I got to just go, like, absolutely ham. I got to go and have it, like, I went mental with the anger and stuff, and because I'm a theater actor, I was able to kind of bring that there. So yeah, like I think we've all got a little bit of a different style, and I think that's what people like about
for sure.
the channel, is that Ronnie's grown it, and I've been privileged enough to work with him for a few years. We've started trying to do some stories where it's still just him, but anything that requires more and more characters, we try and cast appropriately. Obviously, Ref has been on there as well, which I didn't realize was Ash Breather, so hey, thank you so much, Ash. Please get some sleep. You bloody deserve it. And, you know, with Yanks and Lady Spukaria, and obviously my colleagues like the amazing Erica Sanderson, my acting, like kind of acting mum, but also acting sibling. Erica is quite possibly one of the greatest voice actors in the UK, who is just getting more and more, like, getting better as time goes on. People like Shakira Dunn, who we've had on the channel, who's now taking Nell, who's obviously been in My Dear Nokatan on Funimation, so please check her out and support her. And I'm probably missing you. Like, I mean, Autumn Ivy. Autumn just incredible talent. Unbelievable talent. Love them to bits. And obviously Chelsea, who I just want to take a separate moment to wish Chelsea well. I don't know if she'll hear this, but she's just taken a step back from the internet for a while because I think people have been kind of difficult with her, like on Dead Meat, from my understanding. And you know, one of the sweetest, most wonderful human beings, a dear friend. I haven't spoken to her in quite a while, and an incredibly talented voice actor. So I just want to give her a shout out as well. But yeah, sorry, I kind of ran away with that for a minute there. I will definitely get a cookie, Francisco. I'm on a diet now for the next 3 months, so I will get a protein cookie, but I will get a cookie. Ludo,
Cookie's a cookie.
Why don't we both ask this question? So Chris said, what's your main inspiration on writing? What media fueled your creativity? Because I know you write as well.
Oh. I do, though much less often than you, but I don't know. I think when I did used to write more, I think it varied. So I'm not very good at writing short stories and stuff like that unless I'm on like a deadline, which is why I wrote a lot during school. I had motivation in the form of prompts, and then there was a specific time and day I needed to get that done by, and so I would usually spend, like, you know, depending on how long the time frame I had to work with was, I would spend the majority of it trying to think of ideas, and then the last like day or two in tortured artist like limbo, trying to cough something up before the deadline ended. And sometimes I would write really great stuff from doing that, and sometimes it would just be absolutely terrible. But I think the things that influenced me the most, I feel like doing things that can kind of clear my head really get me thinking about stuff. Like I used to like just take walks around campus, like especially in the winter, like cool air really like wakes me up and gets me thinking about stuff. Or alternatively, a very hot shower.
Oh, okay.
Either of those. Usually if I take a shower with the express thought beforehand of I am going to think about this thing, and by the time I get out I will have an idea. Usually I can come up with something while I'm taking a shower. I don't know what it is, but almost every single time that it's worked for me. So I've come up with a lot of Monster of the Week stuff.
I see.
A lot of Monster of the Week inspiration in the show. So in terms of media, though, probably songs more than anything.
Yeah.
I feel like music really inspires me.
That's fair. I think like I have a thing where like inspiration for me is a weird one, and it's changed as I've gotten older. Before I do that, I just realized there's no media loop on, so I'm gonna sort that out in a second. Sorry, gang, I just realized. I'm just gonna check the chat and catch up before I answer mine for Chris. Yeah, PL, don't feel mortified. It's honestly okay. Like, I don't think our birthdays are public. So, and I didn't put my birthday. I just put. I think I just put Dusklight birthday. So please don't feel mortified. It's really okay.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Do not worry.
Mine's on my social media, but not YouTube, so
yeah,
it's pretty hard to find.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. So I'm gonna fix it.
Thank you, though.
Yeah, no, still really sweet. I mean, yeah, it's really nice of you. Hey, King Dogspeed, thank you so much. And yeah, the screaming Sagoki, yeah, that was, yeah. So someone said to me a while ago, like, oh, I feel really bad, like I can't listen to your stuff while I'm sleeping because you scream. I was like, oh, it's okay. I was like, I get that I'm in the minority with the way I perform. Like I told Ronnie when I did that, I was like, look, you know, I am going to go absolutely mental on this story because even though, yes, people sleep to, you know, his works, you can't have a character going crazy and then just not go, you have to go ham on it. You have to. And so for me, I was like, no, I'm going to go all in on this. It's going to be how it is. And thankfully it went quite well, all things considered. And thank you, King Dogspeed. I really love that. And we've got some stuff coming up. I'm hoping Ronnie will join us so we can talk about it. He does know we're doing this, and he's in. I think he might just be doing something. I'm not sure. You guys know Somnium at this point. He turns up when he is ready. God damn it. Thank you, Tob. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ethan. I love how you guys are able to get a huge list of voices. So, we didn't used to do that.
No.
I kind of. It's not all me, but I kind of said to Ronnie when we started collaborating years ago, our first collaboration was The Spaces in Between, and I said, I think we should try and do more voices, and obviously I've been doing this on and off for a long time. One of the people I first worked with was the Volgun. Aaron is an incredible voice actor, incredible person, and even back then when we did the early SCP readings, we did different voices, and it's been ingrained in me that for variants, to get people that kind of vibe, you want to have a nice sense of variance for the audience, so like a radio drama. And I noticed that I hate to get almost businessy about it, but there was a gap in the market where people were not doing that. So I was like, we could probably do it, because Ronnie's an incredible sound designer. And I knew that was the one thing that we could add on to it, if you will. So yeah, it was something that I was very very happy to introduce. So I'm just catch up a chat. I'm not used to this many people. It's lovely.
Oh yeah,
have you ever?
I'm having a good time.
Have you ever done a collab with Brett from Creepy Ghosters? I don't know who that is. I am always open to a collab. Yeah, I don't. If it's not in my sort of immediate purview, I'm really bad with names and channels like that. I'm so sorry. But I'll never say no. Yeah. I think you've got one, Lulu, King Dogspeed. I'm going to answer your question, Chris, don't worry. I especially love your work on Backroads Honeypot and Because You Are My Baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was responding in the chat, but Because You Are My Baby is still very close to my heart, but partially because of how great a story it is, but also because that was like the first main role I had in the Dark Somniums channel, and so
really?
it's very, yeah, like I did another story before that, but it was only a few lines, I think, but the one Because You Are My Baby is definitely like the most work I ever did for him at that point, so it was
it's a very
monumental. Yeah, it was like monumental for me. I was so excited.
I cannot remember who did it. Who wrote that?
Who wrote it? Oh no, I used to remember. It's been so long since I last looked at it, but probably look it up really quick.
I think I'm just gonna do a loop of like one of our other videos and just loop it, because I can't seem to find the traditional loop I've used before. I don't know where it is. It's fine. That's fine. I'll just do this loop, and then that'll be okay. All right, sorry about that, gang. Sure. We now have a loop. There we go, and play. All right, there we go.
Most heartfelt greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. I eagerly welcome you to Sturgeon's most premier station, Dusk Light Radio, hosted by yours truly, the stalwart but amplified, sassy but supine, and morosely mutational Everett J. Blackwell. Now, I know you're used to my usual spiel, but in order to bring you more transmissions in ample time, we'll be providing a slightly shorter version for non-Sturgeon or non-feature-length stories to ensure we can still provide our unique Dusklight brand, thank our patrons, and most importantly, promote the authors.
Very loud. Sorry about that. There we go. I've muted it. Sorry. I think it's important to me that when it comes down to the role, I'm not overtaking from anyone else. But yeah, there we go. I think it should be fixed. Yeah, I think you're a few seconds behind. It should be fixed now. Let's wait. There we go. Yep, cool. Okay. I literally looked and I was like, wait a minute, that audio is very high.
That reminded me of when I started a stream one time, and I had the audio turned on my computer as well, and so it just looped over and over and over again on top of each other until I finally managed to figure out what the problem was. It was really bad.
Enough. I used to Twitch stream all in the pandemic. I Twitch streamed all of the last Sin Eater while I was writing it. So you'd think I'd know this shit, but I don't do it enough. So yeah, Adopa Bean, yeah, Rochelle. Oh man, what a talented writer. I love her. Yeah, bravo. Okay, where was I? Did stuff with Volgun. Yeah, so I did like 1 or 2 videos with Volgun, Dogspeed. If you go back, I will give you the name of it. And I'm still on the channel, which is really cool. Like, we haven't worked together in a long time. I maybe should message him. The video is called, I think it's, hold on, let me look it up. I'm gonna have to try and find it. It's on my old channel, so I just need to find the name of my old channel. But this was like, I want to say this was like 13 years ago, because I was like, it was just when I started uni. Oh, The Recording. SCP Tales, The Recording. I was 9 years ago. I can't tell time, apparently. But yeah, I also did Smile Dog with Monica Franco, who has gone on to work on some amazing things, including Has Been Hotel. Again, a truly talented voice actor. Oh, hold on, Ronnie is ready. I'm gonna bring him into the call. Give me just a moment.
Yay.
Hold on, and we will carry this on. One second, gang. All right, there we go. The Somnium has joined us, and we are better for it.
What's up, dog?
How are you doing, sir?
I'm pretty good. Just eating a pickle. How are you guys doing?
You're eating a pickle.
Hi, Ronnie.
Oh yeah. Hi, Lucy. What
is
is
it seasoned? Is it seasoned? Is it salted?
Nah, it's a garlic pickle.
Okay, that's an underrated combo. I have to admit. I not my first choice. Not my first choice.
No. Yeah, it's real garlicky.
Real garlicky.
I bet.
A pickle's good when you're cutting weight, because I can only have so many things right now.
Yeah, they're very low in calories, and like if you're feeling snacky, it's something good to eat if you want to eat something that doesn't, like, it has like virtually almost no calories. It's just a pickled cucumber.
Okay.
That's fair. Cucumbers, I can't imagine, those are mostly water, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to consider that. We were just hyping you up, actually. We were just talking, well, a bunch of different things. We were saying about talking about 10 Little Scumbags and voice casts, and I said that, and obviously you can lend your perspective. I was saying, like, one of the benefits when you, me, Rom, and Lucy are recording is that we all bring something different to the table, and that allows us all to kind of shine. But we only really started doing more voices, like a full voice cast, and when you and I started working together on the Spaces in Between, I would say that was like the first time we really kind of began bringing in multiple voices. I know you've done it a little bit before with like Left Right Game, but was that around like the time we started doing it regularly for the channel?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I've always tried to get other voices on the channel when I can. Like, obviously, like Lucy, or Spiritvoices, she's been in my stories for a long time.
Yeah.
Like,
a veteran.
what was the first one we did together? It wasn't Because You're My Baby. I think it was older than that, right?
Yeah, there was one before. We were just talking about this, actually.
Was it the honey one? Backroads Honey Pot? Was that? Because King Dogspeed mentioned too. I didn't know if that was... Or was that from the Backroads series?
I think that was the Backroads series.
Yeah, that's the Backroads series. Like, me and Spiritvoices started working together in, like, what, 2018 is when we did our first video?
Yes. It was A Grave Mistake was the first one.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I also did that with who was the other one in that? Mr. Creeps.
Mr. Creeps. Yeah.
That was 5 years. So you were a year before me then, because I believe that the Space in Between is 4 years. No, yeah, 4 years this year.
Yeah. No, I remember the whole reason that Ronnie found me was because we narrated the same story. Like, he was looking for other people who had read the story that he was about to read, and I had that was like my second video ever, was the story he was about to read.
And you're so good from the beginning. I was like, damn, I gotta work with this person. She's crazy.
Right?
And we were, I mean, I was obviously like nothing then, but you were also a lot smaller. I remember it was like...
Yeah, I only had like 3,000 subscribers or something?
Oh my god.
I think it was like 8,000 or something. It was a couple thousand, but it was it was huge to me. But compared to how you are now, I was like, it was small.
I mean, this is the thing, is like, even though it's a birthday stream, it's a celebration of like, I think what you have done with the channel, Ronnie, what you have done
Oh,
with
yeah.
your voice work, Lucy, like what we've done as a group. I want to sort of celebrate everything. I just looked at 5 years in March was the Bar series. So 9 months, 10 months after you two started working together, I came into the mix. And I had only just been writing again professionally for 6 months at that time. And I remember, Ronnie, you must have had half the subscribers you do now, maybe? Something like that. It would have probably, I think it was like just north of 500k. It could be. I'd have to go back and look though. I'm not sure. But your channel like was already big at that time, but like comparatively to where we are now, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
sure.
But let me just check. Sorry, we've got to just go back through the chat. We had a bunch of stuff. Sorry, gang. Dark Somnium is a guest host Blackwell. Oh, I definitely would do that. If Ronnie ever had the time, I would definitely. I mean, he already is a Blackwell family member. Like having him host, that's actually something we've never discussed. We've never discussed Ronnie just introducing Dusklight Radio as a character.
That would be kind of awesome.
It would, but then if I said to Ronnie, I want you to do a voice, Ronnie would take that. You would take that and do an English accent. I already know you well enough, man. You would just go.
Hello, governor. What's the whist then?
There it is. There it is.
This is what you send me randomly. I'll get a message at 3 in the morning, like, oh man, I think Ronnie needs me to do something. It's just like, hello, governor. What's all up this then? I'm like, he's trying the voice again.
So good.
I mean, it's kind of appropriate though. An Englishman doing a Southern drawl versus an American doing an English Cockney accent. It would be very on point. I just don't. Would everybody want to listen to 6 minutes of? Do you know what? I would probably, just for the bit, I would probably be like, yeah, Ronnie, do this entire intro in a Cockney accent. 6 minutes.
Yes.
That'd be a good idea. I'm not great with accents. The first time I ever really tried to do an accent was when I was doing this story by Decomposed called The Blackwater, and it's from the perspective of like a Southern girl in like the 60s or something. I don't know. So I was like, how can I do a Southern accent? And I ended up just sounding like a Southern belle, and that's.
I mean, to be fair though, that is the Blackwell family. They are like a Southern. They're a Southern family. So that would actually, that's kind of perfect.
It actually works out.
Oh, no.
Because I do want to get, I also want to get Rom at some point doing it, and like we need to complete the circle. So I will give you something in the next like month or so once we're back up and running on all fronts. Because that's actually such a good idea. I can't believe we haven't done that. And like, I might commission Gorky and be like, "Hey, bud, can you give me another Blackwell family member picture?"
We need a Blackwell family portrait. Is what we need.
Well, I've been thinking about that for merch, and I've been thinking about doing a front and back one where the front is like a traditionally like what we've got already, which you're seeing on the screen from Gorky, and then one of you on the back, kind of like haunted paintings. That'd be really cool.
True.
Also, PL, thank you so much. 20 pounds. Thank you so much for doing that. It's really kind of you. Really, I mean, I'm overwhelmed with how generous people are being with their time and their money. It's just, honestly, thank you so much. I'm just going back through that. What's your Twitch? I don't have Twitch anymore, King Dog Speed. I did years ago. I'm sure it's a dead account now. It would just be Tej Lee. I maybe will go back into it again, but because Dusklight's already here, it kind of seems like pointless in that way, I suppose. But maybe at some point I will. I will check out the channel there, PL, and Amish Electrician. What a name! That's a dope name. Hi, Jamie. Hope you're doing good. Thank you so much for the NFC shout out. Without a doubt, one of the most challenging production things we've ever done, and I'm saying that as the person who didn't have to do all the sound design and sound effects. Ronnie, you outdid yourself with that, man. That was such an undertaking when we did it.
Oh yeah, it was real fun though. Got to make a lot of music for it. I always like getting to do new soundtracks.
Did we ever release the theme song for the NFC?
Not yet. I was thinking about releasing the soundtrack when we do season 2.
Yeah, I probably should bring them. Yeah, because I get on average about 4 or 5 messages a week now on that. So I was gonna mention that. Also, thank you so much, Justin, for the $5. I got a question there. You know what? Before I jump onto that, to answer your question from the inspiration, Chris, it does vary. Because I write a lot of experimental literature now, and like that, and commissions are pretty much all I do. When I do like something, like for example, I'm working on something for Ronnie at the moment. And without revealing too much of it, it's looking at like strange cases in the woods and at, like maritime mysteries, things like that. I don't watch a lot of traditional television. I get a lot of my content through YouTube, so I follow a lot of channels like that. When I'm doing my own work, it's a lot of anime. I'm watching Vinland Saga right now. The NFC was a big inspiration from the Dark Tournament from Dark Yu Hakusho and Bucky the Grappler. And a lot of people were like, oh, it's like the Prison series from Matt Demersky. And I was like, oh, cool. And I'd never read it, or, you know, I knew of Matt, obviously. Everyone does, but I'd never read it. And that's just partly because I don't like to pick up other people's habits. Like, I'll read a work if I know I'm not going to be doing anything in that sort of vein. But well, I don't read a lot nowadays, but yeah, so it does vary. At the moment, I am on a massive indie game sort of front at the moment, so I follow Alpha Beta Gamer, and I just kind of get inspired from that. Howdy from Texas, y'all. Hi, Brutus. I just want to make sure I'm catching up on everything, so there's more people than I'm expecting. It's very, very appreciated. King Dogspeed, thank you so much. That's really appreciated. Thank you so much for the $10. That's really sweet. I'm really, really grateful. What was the... so the question from... okay, so this is for all three of us. What voice acting roles have you done, either in your own channels or each other's channels, that you feel were the most challenging? I've talked a lot, so I'm going to throw this to you first, Ronnie.
I guess Tommy Taffy, because it was hard to try to come up with a voice that was light and like airy and like soft while also being creepy.
That's
It's
fair,
a really
honestly. That
unsettling
sounds...
voice. It's
I
really
did that in
unsettling.
2018, so that was like shortly after I'd first started, and I had no voice acting training, so I just had to like think of how I should sound, you know. So, but it turned out good. I think I'm glad with that.
It was... I mean, I remember when you showed me it when we first sort of started talking, and it was really unsettling. Like, especially the environment of which you recorded it, when you told me how you kind of, you know, where you were at in your life when you recorded it. It's crazy, like, how unhinged it is. Because it's, you know, so removed from you as a person. And, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. What about you, Lucy?
I don't know. I don't know if I have a specific role in mind that was really difficult, but I will say any of the ones that involve me having to like yell and scream and all that stuff, I find those to be pretty challenging, in part just because of my audio setup, but also just because I also have no voice acting training aside from just practicing a lot, and so sometimes I still like shy away from the highly emotional stuff. Like I think over the years I've gotten a lot better at that. But yeah, those are still very difficult for me. But they're very fun to do. I will say that. They're very fun to attempt. I do just find it very difficult sometimes.
I think you're recently, actually, like the role you did for my thing in A Distant Travels is a really good example of you in distress. Like, it was almost unsettling in places.
That's good. I mean, I remember we've talked a lot about what's it called? Hey There, Eliza.
Oh my god, yeah.
We've talked a lot about that one. That one was me trying my absolute best. So that's a good
You also
example.
did a real good job on that one we did. About the UFOs, like the abduction one, where those people got abducted at the end.
Oh yeah, that
what
one
was that?
That one was also that's one of the ones I'm talking about, and it's so fun to try to do those, but it's just like me in my bedroom closet, like screaming.
Yeah, that's what no one
So it's
sees
a
is
little-
how we make these, right? Like when you're doing those crazy ones, like, you know, whether it's Tommy Taffy or that, or doing 10 Little Scumbags, like I had to, I have lovely neighbors, but I had to kind of turn to them at 3 in the morning. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be yelling some very unhinged things, and you know, don't want you to be concerned. And you know your voice can only take so many of those, so it's like, well,
right.
better do it right.
Don't have unlimited takes on those ones.
No,
Yeah. No, I do the same thing because thankfully my apartment is very good on soundproofing, but you know, I do have a roommate, and you know, it's everywhere. It's good on soundproofing. It's not perfect, so I'm sure that I've definitely come out of recording sometimes being like, I really hope that no one was concerned enough to come investigate that, you know?
Yeah,
probably fine.
It's kind of just an inevitability of like doing voice work though in any capacity, unless you have a dedicated sort of like sound room, and people, you know, I mean, I've been living here for a while, so people now know this, but when I first got here, it's like, well, you know, not always like something that you could explain away easily.
Right.
For me, I mean, I definitely would obviously say 10 Little Scumbags, Baraska, Baraska, and that one bit with Kyle, I still feel guilty over. Like, Roddy, I still to this day feel guilty over like that whole debacle with that at the end of that role, because I got so into it, and like it, you know, like I didn't want it to get like flagged or anything, like, so I was like it was like a, you know, really aggressive threat, but really good role. Pen Pal took it out of me as well, playing Josh's dad. I'll play Josh and Josh's dad. Like, Josh's dad was, I had to go to a really ugly place for that. And again, like, I realized that, you know, you don't necessarily have to, but I take, whether it was my channel or Lucy's channel or Rom's channel or Ronnie's channel, I take it quite seriously. So, you know, knowing that 500,000 people might hear, it's like, well, if I'm going to be pulling the weight of this role, I want to be authentic with it. I've been trusted. Ronnie's trusted me to do that. And so I'm very willing to kind of take it to uncomfortable places. And I think hearing a grown man cry on an audio piece is uncomfortable. But it's like, man, you know, with that kind of character, with the end, which I won't spoil, you know, I love that. I would say that was probably one of them. And unless you guys can think of any other roles I've done where I went a bit ham with my acting.
Trying to think of the stories. I can't remember most of the stories I've ever done, so.
No, I get you. We do so
memory.
many.
Yeah.
We do so many that they kind of do blur together a little bit.
You do blur together slightly, yeah.
I'm almost at 1,000.
And the only one...
That's crazy.
1,000? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I think I'm at 970 uploads. So
Are you-
take out like at least 30,
Oh.
40 of them as like non-story videos, I suppose.
Wow.
And
Are
then,
you doing
yeah.
a celebration for the 1,000? Have you got anything in mind?
I don't know, maybe. We'll see. Maybe I will stream Frostpunk 2. That's coming out at the end of the month. I'm excited for that.
Oh, we did talk about that. I think I'm in the country, so I will definitely jump on. If I'm in the UK when like that comes out, 'cause you got me onto Frostpunk as well. What a God, what a game! I don't normally like. There's a few games you've shown me over the years where I'm, because we have different tastes, and I'm like, but Frostpunk fully grabbed me. Yeah, that's
so fun.
That is cool. Hi Ocean. Thank you for joining us from Canada. Clue, have you seen Jordan Group's work? I have. Jordan. I know Jordan. Jordan's a very talented writer. I really respect the grind he's on with YouTube. I think he's got like 50,000 subscribers already. And I mentioned this before, but I'll briefly just kind of touch on this, that as much as I have tried to be more regular on the channel to help with the algorithm and stuff, I just have too many things pulling at me. I tour on and off for like wrestling, I act and obviously write, and I voice work for the channel. So I'm trying to make it so that when you guys get an upload from me, it's of good quality. It's most likely going to be Sturgeon, unless I have a really, you know, good story from another colleague of mine. And, you know, you get something a bit more curated. So I hope you guys don't mind that. But obviously, I'd rather do that than keep failing to do a schedule that I'm just not able to kind of get to. And also to answer the other question about NFC, Ronnie and I have talked about it. We don't have any. There's like no schedule plans because we don't really think that far ahead, and obviously it's beholden to what Ronnie wants to do, and what's on there. But I am writing it. It will be done. At the very earliest, it'll be next year. This year's running down short. I've got a Japan tour coming up. There's other phenomenal authors that I'm sure Ronnie wants to feature. And we've got a few other pieces of Sturgeon content to get out before we get to Season 2. Because once that's out, guys, when I finally finish Season 2 and it's done, there's only one more part of that quote-unquote saga, and then I'll probably be putting it to bed for a little while. So, I really want to stick the landing of this story I've been telling for 5 years. So, we've talked about it, though. Ronnie and I are definitely keen. It's just, I have to respect Ronnie's time. It is a massive, massive undertaking to do something like that with all the people involved, with the amount of sound effects and music that Ronnie's got to put together. So, but we've got some stuff coming up. We've got some plans cooking, haven't we, Ronnie? We've got some things in the pipeline.
Oh yeah, pretty sick.
I don't want to say in case you want to. Do you want it to be a surprise? What we're doing? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We got a surprise in sometime in the Halloween season if all goes to plan, but we think it will be something that you'll all really, really enjoy. But we'll leave it there for the moment. I am excited for the next Dark Somnium upload though, which is very soon.
That's right, going up tomorrow most likely.
People are, the moment they see it and they see who wrote it, I think they're gonna lose their minds. And it's a really good story as well.
It's been real fun to do sounds.
You always send the audio beforehand, so I'm really excited to kind of get that as well, like just to hear it.
Yeah, I'll probably send that over tonight.
But yeah, so I just wanted to address that real quick. Sorry about that. So yeah, Jordan Group's fantastic, great writer, great voice actor. He's on that grind, just brilliant dude. King Dogsby says, Ronnie, my fate. Oh, sorry, Paul PL said, Tommy Taffy totally freaked me out. Had dodgy dreams for a long time after listening to that. Same if you read it. I love Elias, and we've talked at length about it. His table read interview is on podcasting that I did a few years ago, and he talked in detail about sort of how that made him feel, making a story that was that unsettling. But yeah, I mean, it is uncomfortable. I can't go back and read it again or listen to it again because it's just too much for me, but 100%. King Dogsby says, Ronnie, my fave voice of yours is I'm a guard in a secret government prison, the crazy Adrian.
Oh yeah, that one was fun. Yeah, he's like when I was doing him, I thought of like, not really, but like not Tommy Taffy in the sense of like being a creep, but Tommy Taffy in the sense of being like just an insane drug addict from outer space. So
drug addict from outer space.
Yeah, that's basically what he is.
That's a very specific vibe.
Yeah, that is a.
Yeah, he likes. Yeah, like, cause in that story, he just like pops out of nowhere, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to. I released all these things because I want to watch him fight." And the entire time, he's like snorting space heroin, and he's just
that's right.
like just like bouncing off the walls.
See,
like that's the whole premise of the story.
This is the thing about Matt. His comedy is better than mine. Like, the man's just like, what if drug addict, lots of money, and space heroin? It's like
that's pretty.
I mean, his Dancing Man is great as well. That Dancing Man character is so funny. Just the most dangerous thing, as long as you don't knock out his tape player, he's fine. I think it's great. I could not do anything like that. Where are we at? I agree with Jamie Richards. The NFC was outstanding. Thank you so much. Pen Pal is 100% heavy. And Debbie's Adventure was a lot of fun. That was really fun. And you did a lot of unique things for that when we put it together. That was like that was another big undertaking for a 90-minute story. I think you spent a long time on that.
For which one?
Demi's Adventure.
Oh yeah, that took me like what, a month? No, a few weeks, I think.
It was a while, yeah. I know because you put a lot of.
But because there's a lot of sounds, a lot of like video game sounds and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It sounded really good though.
Oh, it was. It was wonderful, and that's why, like, doing it for Dusk, I was like, I'm gonna wait a year or so, and then I'm just gonna try and take my time with it. And obviously, I've got really good resources, and I've learned from from you. Is that Rom?
Yeah, she's playing God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, nice. Is it her first time playing?
No. She's been playing for a while.
Such a good game. Speaking of which, Jamie did say hi to Rom for us. So I'm sure you will. She seems very into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I definitely am looking forward to doing more of Demi. I'll probably do part 2 in the next couple of weeks. So Gorky said Frostpunk is nice, pretty good. Is Ixion Frostpunk in space? I've never done Ixion. Have you played that, Ronnie?
Wait, what?
Ixion.
No. Oh, sounds familiar. I don't think I've ever played it though.
No. Well, apparently it's Frostpunk in space, so might have to take a look at that. Jamie says, I think the character you did I like the most was Cyril Monks. Do you know what? That's like one of Rom's favorite voices I've ever done as well. My thick northern accent. I don't use it too often because I realize that some Americans can't pass it and they don't know what I'm saying. So I was like, best not. But man, The Last Senator, Rom put her soul into that. Unbelievable work. Yeah, I so much love for the attention to detail both of you have.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I actually might go back and re-listen to that. It was like a truly wonderful ending as well. Like the way that she kind of she did not spare anything on that. I think like that consumed her life for like 3 months of making that. It was like a long period of time. And also, like, you guys should check out her Habane Remne essay that she did on the channel, because Rom worked really hard on that.
Yeah, that's a cool video.
It's really good. And also, I feel like I should ask for everybody listening, how are the ferrets doing?
They're pretty good. Lopez is doing a lot better, so don't have to do those drops anymore. We're able to keep her eye, so she's not going to be blind.
Oh, good.
Yeah, right? So that's pretty great.
Was it like an infection or?
Something happened to her eye. Like I assume maybe one of the other ferrets, maybe when they were playing, like kicked and their super sharp claw just went right into her eyeball.
No.
There was damage to her cornea. We're not exactly sure what happened, but when that stuff happens, if you don't take care of it quickly, their eye can rupture, and then they have to have it removed. That's why we were doing that thing where every 2 hours we were giving her like antibiotic eye drops and these other types of eye drops to help heal the cornea and stuff.
Wow. Well, I mean, the fact it worked goes to show the hard work and, you know, the dedication to looking after them. I know the ferrets are your babies as well, so I'm not surprised, but man, that's...
It was a pain, but it was worth it.
Yeah, well, keeping an eye, absolutely. So no, I know you. It's been a focus of yours for a little while now, so that's a relief.
Yeah, I'm glad they're okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
He says, while studying to get a degree, I work at a hotel, and having ADHD, I always have everyone's videos on repeat, and that's the only thing pushing me through. I mean, a lot of people don't realize there's a loop button on videos. Like, you know, if ever you want to, like, help the view count with that, you know, because botting and stuff that is really kind of dodgy, but, like, the loop button's really efficient, and it just allows these to keep replaying. Yeah.
Wait, on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always forget about that.
I don't know. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right? I didn't know either. Someone told me.
I think if you right click on it, it'll give you the option to like. Well, obviously this is on if you're on your computer. I don't know how to do it on your phone, but yeah, the first option is loop, and then there's a bunch of stats and stuff.
Yeah. And it counts as a unique view each time, and it adds to your watch time. So I found because it's an alternative to. I assume it's alternative to botting, so people don't have to rely on that. But every continuous loop is a new view, but also each loop just adds onto your watch time, so it's really cool. And I just was like, oh sweet, you know. So if any, you know, for my audience who, like, well, same with yours, who want to listen while they're sleeping, or they have ADHD, or just want to help out with general watch time, they can just put it on loop and it will just carry on. Now, you have so much material that's almost not necessary. They could just kind of go through your lexicon. But for me, I think, you know, where my stuff is a little bit smaller, you know, it's a really helpful thing in that sense. Yeah, you learn something new every day. A wee clue.
Sorry?
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, side note, with talking about listening to narrators, like when sleeping and working and stuff. I back before I started my channel, I used to, when I was working at my college, I worked as a janitor, and that like helped pay for my tuition. And so
Oh.
I'd get up at like 3 a.m. every day, and I'd go to the college, and I would work as a janitor, and I'd clean like the tunnels under the school and stuff. And I would always listen to Mr. Creepypasta while I was doing that, because I was like, it's real creepy down here and it's dark, and I want to be scared. So I'd like turn on Mr. Creepypasta stories and stuff.
I mean, again, you talk about that's the OG right there. I mean, there were people,
Yeah.
I'm sure, doing it on different platforms, but the guy who has been here since day one, paving that way is MCP. I think all of us, our heart goes out to him and his family, and you know, hope he's doing well. But I mean, again, it's wild to just think back on the landscape of YouTube narration in those days. When he started, I had just written my first creepypasta in 2012. And I remember he adapted it, and he read it on stage at like a convention, and like hundreds of people turned up for it. Like, he had a mask and everything. And I was like, man, there's like a career in doing this. That's crazy. And now,
No, there's like an audience for it.
right. And in the last sort of, 6 to 7 years, particularly in the last sort of 4, I would say, many people have emerged that, now make it a job, and do it as a profession. And it goes to show how far the platform has come in that sense of, the eagerness at which people want to listen to audio work. But I mean, the fact that he's still here to this day is just, that's so crazy, the longevity when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
That's wild, man. I mean, my old YouTube vlogs and stuff like that from like 13 years ago are still on there, when I was like just vlogging or doing let's plays and stuff. I had no idea what I was doing. And I think you have to have a USP, and thankfully I found mine in Sturgeon, so I'm quite lucky. Also, PL's asking for a wee clue, a small clue, what we're doing. That is not up to me. That is up to the producer, man. Ronnie, do we have a small clue we can give? For what we're
On what, for what now?
For what we're doing,
What are we
in the project you and I are working on in a few weeks.
Oh, so we have a few. I mean, I don't mind saying, most people know I'm working on it. I'm gonna try to do the Tales from. I'm gonna try to release Tales from the Gas Station on Halloween. Like the first full volume, which I think is like 4 or 5 hours.
It's quite long, yeah. I think they meant the one from my work, but also that is still good.
Shit.
I think that's what they were curious.
That's too
okay. I mean, you can tell them. I mean, you can tell them it's your story, so you'll be able to give a better.
Well, yeah, but it's collaborative. If you said to me, "I want to keep it secret," I would respect that. At the end of the day, like, I will always defer to you, and even if it's my work, it's like, if you're like, "Nah, this is for our schedule, want to keep it kind of on the DL," I would say that. Okay, well, there you go, gang. That's one of the Halloween projects. I didn't know. I don't know the schedule, because I assumed we were doing mine on Halloween, or are we just doing it on Halloween week? Are you trying to do like 2 big projects during the Halloween period?
It depends, because I don't know if I can release such 2 big projects close to each other. But I don't mind if you tell them about them, like the moderators. If you want to let them know about that, I totally don't mind at all.
Yeah, it was or the other series I thought we were doing, the one with the television. I thought we were
Static.
Doing...
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
We got so many.
Static.
Yeah, I thought we were doing moderator like sometime later in the year, because like I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So yeah, one of the things we have been working on, we won't say when it's going up, because again, like, it really depends on day to day, and obviously what Ronnie wants to do. But hopefully in the Halloween period, possibly before, possibly after, we will be adapting and releasing Beneath the Static, which is not available in print. It's not available on No Sleep. Reasons are, I said this in a message that someone put on Ronnie's subreddit, The Dark Gathering. I'm going to be, I also consulted with Lulu before we started the stream about that. I'm gonna say for now, gang, I'm not gonna tell you, like, talk about it. It's more of a legal thing of, like, it's also just it's a bummer, but the book will be reprinted. It will come out again with a new cover. It'll still have all the content in there and a little bit better editing, but for a couple reasons, anyone who was in the No-Sleep community sort of is aware of this, but otherwise, yeah, it's better I just don't say anything for the time being. And when the dust has settled on that, I can kind of, tell y'all about it. Like, let me put it this way. It is serious enough that it's better to just not sort of publicly talk about it until it's done. Nothing to do with me, but to do with some elements of people involved in that. And I removed the book too late, to be perfectly honest. That's probably my biggest regret in my career, is that I should have removed it a lot earlier, but I had my own stuff going on. That took priority, but now it's out. It's off print. But the only place you can get Beneath the Static now will be when we adapt it on the Dark Somnium. It is still to this day my favorite single part series. I love the NFC to death. My best horror work is Beneath the Static. JJ is my Pennywise, not really my Tommy Taffy necessarily, but he's my favorite villain I've ever created. I'm looking forward to playing him again and bringing him to life. We've talked about having some really cool people involved in it. We'll just see. But it's also long. It's about the length of the NFC. It's like 5 to 6 hours. So when we get round to that, you'll have that, and then obviously, as Ronnie's mentioned, Tales from the Gas Station, an absolute classic. So you got 2 really cool things coming. Yeah. And speaking of the assigned NFC books, yes, you should all be getting your tracking things in the next 2 days, I want to say, because most of the batch has gone out now. So please keep an eye. If you haven't received your tracking code from me by Monday, please drop me a message. Otherwise, you should see that in your inbox in the next 24, 48 hours. And when you get your book, please do take a picture. It doesn't have to be with your face in it, obviously, anything like that, but just you holding it or anything like that. I'd love to have that for the socials. Love to see what you guys think of it. I'm really, really proud of that book, and it's the last book I'm self-publishing ever, probably. So please enjoy it. Yeah, I can't keep doing it. It's exhausting doing the editing, and I don't think I'm good enough to format and edit my own work, and my biggest concern is always quality. So I don't want to edit and do it again, and I would much rather go through a publisher that it has a much better eye for these things than I do. But, it was important that I did it for this. I might do a year 1 collection, which I've talked about doing for years with Hotel Inertia, but again, I might put that through a publisher rather than myself. We will see. I don't know yet. We're also 1,000 subscribers away from 10K. And I have told all of y'all this year, if we hit 10K, then I have to finish Hotel Inertia. So, yeah, just throwing that out there. Clue said, Changing said, I almost broke my virtual net getting chat. Hey, Changeling, good to see you. Rom Slasson is one of my all-time favorites. Arkham Cookie. Changeling's a great name. I remember them because of the Pikachu really picture. I always know that. Arkham Cookie, Rom's last scene.
You know what I told everyone I'd do when I hit 10K?
What did you get? Yeah, please tell us.
I told everyone I'd read erotica because I never thought it would happen.
No.
I was so sure that I would never reach 10,000 subscribers. I was like, yeah, I'll do porn when I get 10,000, whatever. It's all good. It's not going to happen, so it doesn't matter.
Did you read it?
No, I'm not gonna.
So you made it. That's a bold promise, and you didn't even achieve it. You know what? Maybe I could. That tells the audience. What if I get 10K and don't do Hotel Inertia?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that just goes to show you can say whatever you want.
You can say whatever you want if you don't think it's gonna really happen.
I mean, I'm so close that I do that. Do you know what? I'll make this. How about this? I'll make a bold declaration here. This will be a good one because I've got two people. If we hit 25K in the next year, I will read some curated AO3 content.
Now, when you say curated,
I mean, we will explain that in a moment for you, Ronnie, for those who don't know. But it'll be curated by you, Lucy. I will let you pick what I read on the channel. AO3. Actually, I'm gonna let Lucy explain because I feel that I won't do it justice.
All right.
Googling
it
right now?
On pins and needles.
AO3 stands for Archive of Our Own. It's an A followed by 3 words that start with O, so it's AO3 is the abbreviation. And it's just fan fiction. It's literally an entire website for fan fiction. And I have no idea what you're gonna follow it up with.
I'm just
How can the Dark Somnium get some fanfiction?
There probably is. There's probably the balance of probability of having nearly 1 million subscribers. There's probably some fan fiction on there. If people draw, listen, guys. If people draw Mpreg of Isaiah and Hunter from the Creeps cast, they're gonna have something of Dark Somnium on there at some point. You've spoken that into existence now.
Hold on, I'm gonna just Google something.
If it's not there, someone will do it. You could, I don't think you understand the power you have, Ronnie. You could literally put out a thing going, hey guys, I'd just like to see some AO3 content of me. Thanks. And someone will do it.
People would do it.
I don't think I ever want those words to come out of my mouth, though.
And you know what? That's fair.
I mean, I don't think Isaiah and Hunter want Mpreg on their subreddit, but they still get it. Frequently.
It is one of the most popular websites for fanfiction, and I will tell you, there's some really good shit on there, but there's also some really cursed shit on there. So you have to really filter what you're looking for.
Ronnie, there is a series that is longer than the fucking Bible on there.
Oh.
And it's apparently very good.
There's a Lord of the Rings fanfiction that is longer than the Lord of the Rings itself.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like all kinds of shit. I mean,
I'm sure there's some very cool things on there. There's also some very erotic things on there. I don't know what I will read, and I'm gonna let Lulu choose. I don't want to break the terms of service, but if we hit 25k, I will read it. My one caveat, because I know it won't happen anyway, but I'm saying it just to be careful, I won't read AO3 of my own work. No one's gonna write that, so it's fine. But I have had people threatening to write Wendy X Eustace and some others, and I'm like, no, that's cool, that's fine. I'm not reading it. I'm not reading porn of my own characters. It just what?
Ocean in the chat just asked if they should make some Nightmare Detectives fanfiction.
Nightmare Detectives fanfiction is fine. I just won't read erotic. I won't read erotic fanfiction.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I would. So that's the thing is I would hate any of those words coming from my own mouth. But I mean, Ocean, as one of the, I guess it depends on who you read it from. Maybe we should ask the others.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying you can't write. I'm not saying you can't write erotic fanfiction of anything I've done. You do, that's fine. As I'm just saying, I won't read erotic fanfiction of what I've done. If it's just fanfiction, I would still read it because we had the Dusklight contest and we're going through and judging that at the moment. Lulu's had COVID and we've been traveling, so I did mention this we will get to this by the end of the month. There's been some entries, so I'm really excited. So we'll have an announcement on that as well. I have not forgotten, don't you worry. But yeah, I'd be interested in that. But yeah.
I just want to give explicit permission right here and right now that if anyone wants to write fan fiction involving Callista, go for it. And then send it to me. I want to read it.
I still want to do a D&D session with Ronnie and Rom. I need that chaos.
Yeah,
I need that chaos. We've talked about another game that we want to play in the new year, which we might record, but I desperately want the chaos of just watching Ronnie play D&D. Because I know you so well, and I know the kind of chaos you'll bring. And so would Rom. Both of you.
It'd be very fun.
Yeah, it was chaotic, that's for sure. I got kicked out of my last D&D group. They killed me with lightning and made me leave.
Why did you get kicked out? What did you do?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Were you a murder hobo?
Nah, I did just do. I did some wacky ass shit. Like one time we went into a tavern, and I was like, I immediately tackle the cashier and steal their money, and then I run upstairs and jump out the window. But then I use the shards of glass as platforms to do backflips off of on my way down for skill points. And my friend was like, all right, well, you're a warrior and you're wearing a heavy ass armor, so you're gonna need to roll some high numbers for this. I was like, all right, cool. And then I kept rolling 20s. I rolled 10 20s in a row.
No.
And then, my god.
Yeah,
you were that
and
player.
That just kept happening. Yeah, and then that just kept happening in various scenarios until he killed me with lightning.
So
now,
you were the Victor Mendoza of the group.
Yes. First of all, yes. Second of all, I just want to know, did they tell you in advance that they were going to kill you, or did they just...
That's a good question.
No, he was just really annoyed at me. He was, I could see it on his face. But it was the first and last time I played that game. I thought we were just having fun. My bad.
This is it, right? So I feel I let my players do whatever they want, as long as when it's like a serious moment or whatever that they take it seriously. Other than that, they can do whatever they want. I would let you do all that, provided that if we got to a serious moment, like, you would honor the serious moment to the best of your ability. But other than that, like, I love that shit. But that's very Victor Mendoza. It's very Victor.
But like, no, the thing about was I had a plan. The reason I was doing it is because I was going to become a villain and like make my party track me down, and like I'd be the antagonist of this little session we were in. But I couldn't even get that far because they couldn't handle my evil mastermind antics.
Now, were you playing like a long campaign, or was you going to be the antagonist for just like one session?
I don't know how long it was going to be. I assumed we'd play until everyone died. Like I said, that was in 2012, and it was the first time I'd ever played Dungeons and Dragons, and it was also the last, so I didn't know how long the sessions are supposed to go for, you know?
So you can be an antagonist, but the problem I think any DM would have is then they would have to DM you separately to the whole party for the rest of the game, which if it's one or two sessions...
That's not my problem, is it?
No, I suppose it's not your problem, no. But, like, I'm just thinking of the stress. Like, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. You could do that. You could, if you said to me, I said, all right, we're going to do like 2 or 3 sessions at most, I would 100% let you do it. If we had a year of storytelling, I'm not going to put you in the isolation evil villain box for most of that year. That's terrible audio. And the thing is, that means that the players would always know what you're doing because they'd hear and that they wouldn't make the decisions that you'd want them to make. I love it for a short term though. I'm all in on the short term. Like, here's the thing. I'll tell the audience this much. We've discussed the idea of having an all narrator, all voice actor, like D&D group. With a few different people if we can get the schedules going. Maybe even just once a month, and then we'll, like, proper film it, put it out, you know, when Nightmare Detection is done. And I would so let you have this chaotic streak. I genuinely think it would be really funny if we can get the times down. But having you be the antagonist on a year-long story would be very hard to do mechanically. I will tell you that now. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it's hard.
I'm not saying I want to do that now. I'm just saying that's what I did the first time I played.
But that's your villain origin story. Now you're going to carry that energy into your next game and be like, remember what they took from you.
Be like, remember this? And then start parkouring off glass. And you'll be like, no.
I would let you parkour off glass. I'm not too much of a rules lawyer. Like, because the thing is for me, risk versus reward. Whenever my players want to do cool shit, if they fail, I get to embarrass them. It's great.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that TJ lets us do whatever we want, except we do have to deal with the consequences of it.
And
like, almost immediately.
And there have been times where, I mean, gosh, I really went hard on you early in the game. Lulu was in a Gashapon thing and had to.
Oh yeah.
What did I do to you when you failed?
Gashapon
do you remember?
Is the fate of my existence.
Isn't that like a vending machine?
Yes, yeah. I used it as a mechanic from Adventure Zone as well, where they could like roll a dice to then see what gift they got, and everyone had to do it, and Lulu got one, and I went, she critical failed. What was it I did to you?
My wing got stuck in it, and it like pulled my wing forward, and then I almost got eaten by the machine, and then I landed on my butt, and then it had a sign or something that I can't remember what it said, but it mocked me.
Yeah, that's it.
It mocked me.
It said
the Gashapon mocked me.
It
also,
kind of... Yeah?
Sorry?
No, go ahead.
Oh, this is totally random, Spirit, but I just want to say, you remember that story that I asked you to do? Like, I don't know how long it was ago. Like, maybe, I think it was shortly after we met, but it was by Elias, the guy who wrote Tommy Taffy. It was called Burning Out or something like that. Ooh. And, like, I didn't read it before sending it over to you, and then you replied saying, like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable reading that.
I do remember that, because I was like, I don't know about this one, my guy. And you were like, wait, I haven't read it yet. What's in it?
That's so
yeah, I didn't
very
read it
Elias.
And then I do remember that, because I remember you being like, I haven't read it yet. What's in it? And I was like, oh, you might want to read that one. It's a little iffy. I can't remember now what it was about, but I do remember that.
To be fair,
yeah,
it's not an Elias. It's not an Elias story if it's not uncomfortable. So props to him for that.
Yeah, right.
I think I played Brendan McLean's Stupid, You fell down, confetti rained down, and I said Paolo would be so disappointed you might as well end it all here, or something like that. It was really harsh.
Something brutal, yeah, something brutal.
But I believe the reason I did that is I told you that if you failed, I was going to make it bad. So, like,
That's right. You did give me poison. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I do try and, like, yeah.
Gashapon gave me poison.
It did. And
Poison,
then it also...
damn.
And it also gave you, like, a bobblehead of your mother figure, Lady Death, saying, I know what you did on repeat. It's like,
that too.
And this is one thing about the Nightmare Detectives I will say for our lovely people listening to us just podcast this basically at this point. I'm gonna keep putting out the Nightmare Detectives even if 200 people only check it out, because like at this point, weirdly enough, it's still the most viewed video on my channel is the first episode. So I know that there's an audience there and I'm just woefully inconsistent. We are ahead on the Patreon. I'm actually going to be finishing up the rest of the edits for the remainder of the campaign soon. But I am so proud of the Nightmare Detectives with the, we've got some merch coming out and stuff. I'm going to keep doing them anyway. I know some people don't like them, which is totally fine. But not only are they good to keep the channel active, but, there's still 200 people, 100 people that like it, which to me is wonderful. So I'm going to keep uploading them every week. I'm going to try and do them on Mondays. And I'm going to try and, get ahead of my editing so that they can always be there. But, for sure, Changeling, Ocean, if you wanted to do any fan fiction of the Nightmare Detectives, I would welcome that. That'd be totally cool.
Do it.
PL, we were doing signed NFC books. I might do one more round of them. I would have to wait until I get another delivery, though, which takes about a week. And I'm about to go on tour. So I will let you know if and when that, when that occurs. But, I definitely want to do next year an all narrators or all voice people's like D&D, even if it's just short, because the biggest problem I think we would encounter, Ronnie, is schedule. Getting the time to sit down and do it would probably be the hardest thing.
Isn't that just how it goes?
I feel like we would try and do it, but I think one or more of us would struggle. Which, to be fair, it already happens like in regular D&D with our group, so I can only imagine what it'd be like for a bunch of people who make their living recording and acting and editing and Twitch. So we will see. But we'll figure it out. But I totally need to catch up on the Nightmare Detectives. I'll start. Yeah, Jamie, please let me know what you think. Like, one of my favorite things, and I know our players really enjoy, is just reading the comments. That's also that was the whole reason I started that with Hotel Inertia, was to give people more Hotel Inertia content. There's 12 episodes in the hotel, which borrows heavily from elements of the book. So for those of you who are like, I want more Hotel Inertia, it's like, you're going to get it next year, probably at this rate. But you could go and check out the first arc of the Nightmare Detectives, and you'll get a very good idea of what I'm going with. That's really sweet, Ocean. I really appreciate that, with it being your obsession. If you have any favorite characters, favorite moments, please pop them in the chat. I love hearing about stuff like that. That's really cool. We're very attached. Arkham, if you ever decide to do a YouTube Shorts, that clip would be a good one. We've talked about doing shorts on the D&D thing, but it would mean someone would have to go through, find good bits, edit them. So maybe I'll pay Lucy to do that.
That actually would be kind of fun.
It would be a good idea, but we will see. But yeah, no, I'll have to figure it out. I am not sure. Are we ever going to do premieres? Yeah, I actually got Ronnie's advice on premieres. And I only like to try and do them when I'm able to be there for them, because otherwise it feels kind of, it feels weird. If I'm doing a premiere and I'm not even there to hang out with everybody, I feel that's taking away an element of the point of it. And I sometimes schedule my uploads when I'm doing other things. But Ronnie, actually, let me ask you as a content creator, what is your perspective on premieres?
I think they're pretty good. I think that I'm still unsure. They're a great way for engagement with the community and stuff, but the only thing that I'm unsure of is with how YouTube works in terms of promoting content that gets engagement. I don't know if the live chat in the premiere, for premieres, does anything for the fact that it kind of you lose comments when the first video goes live. People aren't commenting; they're talking in the live chat. And so if that doesn't count as engagement the same way comments do, I could hurt the video in the long run, because then after the premiere is over, YouTube will see like, oh, only 3 people have commented on the video itself, not taking into the fact that that's because most people were talking in the live stream instead of commenting on a video that just went live, you know?
Interesting.
Stuff like that. Like, that's stuff that I just don't know about. So, but I mean, if you don't really care, that's really the only questionable thing. I mean, the main thing as to why you want to do it is probably for engagement, and that's always the main deciding factor. So if it's something you think is fun and you want to just like do it to engage with people, then I'd say it's definitely worth it.
I think what I'm probably going to do is, and I feel that this is a sensible half measure for me, being a smaller channel, is like when the spaces in between is finished, which we've just been waiting on some voice work from sort of the actors. That's why it hasn't we haven't done any more yet. When the spaces in between is done, when Demi's Adventure is done, when Tortoises is done, each time they're finished, I'll probably do a premiere and sit through it with everybody, like as a full, because the longer the video, the better it's going to perform anyway. So that's probably the time I would do it. I could sit through and we can kind of go through it together. I think that's probably probably the only times I would do it though. Like I otherwise I'm probably likely to just let the videos go up, like the latest Tortoises and Tarots, because it's only 20 something minutes. We'll it's not the same. Whereas I like to feel like people are sitting through a film. We're like all hanging out and talking about it,
Yeah, that's how I did them too.
Which I get, like, on a bigger channel though, you couldn't risk that with like the NFC when that came out. Doing a 6.5 hour live, probably not a good idea.
I guess it really depends. I used to do a lot of live streams. I used to live stream in the middle of the night. Like, it'd be like 2 a.m, and I wouldn't be able to sleep. So I'd be like, I'm gonna boot up a live stream, and then I'd just like post a 6-hour live stream of me cleaning my Rubik's cubes or something.
Oh, that's really cool. You do strike me as a Rubik's Cube kind of guy, though. Like, yeah, I got a lot of them. That's a specific vibe. What's your record?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how quickly
the
can you
fastest
clear
I've
one?
ever solved a 3x3 was in 40 seconds. That's like the basic, it's like normal Rubik's Cube that you probably think of when you see where like, yeah. The fastest I ever solved that one was like 45 seconds.
Wow. That could not be me.
That's very impressive.
my executive function would just not work. Like, I'd just be like,
no, my
these are
brain would
nice
break.
colors. Yeah, I'd be like, nice colors, but I don't know.
They are nice colors. I mean, yeah, that's true.
Like, that's also true, yeah.
My brain would just kind of go to like, my brain would just be like, oh, it's not about the destination, it's more about the journey, and I just take my time with it. But yeah, that's interesting.
I would work on it for 10 minutes, not be able to do it, and give up. Sadly.
Yeah, probably. I would try, but I feel like I would eventually just get distracted by another shiny object.
Yeah. Isn't that just how it goes?
I mean, it is very us, though, to be fair. Like, you either hyperfixate or you're just like, oh, this is cool. Ooh, shiny, and then just kind of wander off.
Yeah.
Also,
That makes sense.
hello to ANMM, to Mary and Slake and Jason Good. Hello, everybody. We will be winding down in the next sort of few minutes, so I didn't want to do crazy long this evening, but maybe we'll do another live stream. I'll try and maybe do like one every, like, I don't know, one a month or something like that, and try and keep them more frequently. I guess, like, I always wondered if these are actually something people want, because it's just, some vaporwave or some drum and bass in the background of me and Lulu just talking. But if you like these and you want to use them as a Q&A, I'll try and do another one maybe at the end of the month or the beginning of October, because they're a really nice way to interact with everybody. And obviously, as we've established, I am woefully inconsistent in my schedule. Slake's asked us if and bye Jamie, have a lovely evening, thank you so much for joining. Slake's asked if anyone has any plans for the 3 of us all. So for October, do you have any plans in October? Anything major coming up, guys?
Outside of videos, are you talking videos or just in general?
I think just as any plans. So it could be anything of any note.
Probably not. Probably gonna take it easy since I'm just now getting back into regular uploads. Probably gonna focus on just making videos and stuff for the next little while. So I don't have any plans to go anywhere. Hopefully no punk ass kids try coming and trick or treating. I don't want to open the door.
So do you have the lights off when they come trick or treating?
Yeah, but also my house is down a very long driveway, so like if the lights are off, you won't even know there's a house down here.
See,
That's fair.
I'm in like a nice little village, so things, like everyone kind of trick or treats fine. There's not many kids, granted, because it's like an older community. But I just have my lights off, and I'm like, I ain't answering for shit. Not to dampen anyone's spirit, but I don't need strangers knocking at my door. I'm in my own vibe.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
Not quite in those terms, but yeah, I'm not that dismissive, but for sure, also, yeah, fuck that. So kind of a little bit, yeah. For me, I may be in Japan by that point in October. I'm waiting on some info for a tour, wrestling thing. Can't talk about because I don't know if it's happening, but either October or December, I'll find out. I'll still be uploading, and I'll still be doing content. I just need to figure it out first, so we will see. In regards to where I'm at, I'm in the UK, although Lulu is also in the United States, which I think is obvious from the pleasant voice.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast.
How Arkham Cookie asks us how you get over the fear of showing your work to other people. Again, I'll throw this to you two first. So, Lulu?
That's a good question. I, to be completely honest, I get over the fear of showing my work to other people by being too excited about it and doing it anyway. Because I always have sort of a half and half whenever I post anything. Especially now that I have so many actual subscribers, because in the beginning it was easy. I could be like, well, no one's gonna see this anyway, so I might as well post it. But now I actually have people looking, and it's like, oh god, people will see this. So so now I exist in a state of being like, this is so scary. What if people don't like it? What if it's not good enough? Whatever. And then the other half of me is just like golden retriever, just like, I did a thing, I want everyone to see my thing that I did. And so I just sort of lean into that latter one.
That's wow. Yeah, that's
it's like a mix. It's like
energy.
it's like a my anxiety and like the sort of I guess ADHD vibes just clashing together, and usually I try to be more excited than scared. But it's difficult sometimes. It depends on how, like, I don't know, it depends on how close to my original vision that it came out as, like, if it came out really similar to what I hoped it would, it's a lot easier to put out there than if it's very different and, my perfectionist brain is rebelling against me because it's not exactly what I wanted to do. So usually I would end up just posting with my schedule and hoping for the best.
Yeah, that's fair. How about you, Ronnie?
When I first started, I had a lot of fear or anxiety or insecurity about my voice, and you could probably hear it if you go back to my first video in the first videos that I posted in like the first year or two that I was on YouTube. I'm always whispering, just because the idea of people hearing me read stories like made me really self-conscious.
Mm-hmm.
But over time, I kind of got to a point where it's like I started the channel because I thought it'd be fun, and I just stopped worrying about what people care. I mean, of course I want people to like the videos, but if they don't, it's like, that's cool. I hope you find something you do like. Thanks for giving it a try. It doesn't bother me, because not everyone's gonna like what I do, but as long as I like it, that's what matters, And so that's kind of just how I don't really care much anymore if people like it. If they don't like it, I don't care about what people think when they hear my voice. I hope that they like it, but if they don't, it's all good. There will be other people that do.
Yeah. I think for me it's a bit of a mixture, because I act, I theater act, I do voice acting, and I wrestle, or I do commentary, and I'm back getting into ring work again. So different things, like when you're behind the curtain for whether it's a physical performance or not, you kind of are like, well, I'm here now, and that music's gonna hit, and I have to just go go out there. You know, you just have to. You don't get a choice. You know, people are paid to see you, so you're gonna go and do it. As a writer, very similar to Luna, golden retriever energy, trusting in your abilities. I know where I am in my career at this point. I have my own opinion on where I rank, and I think I like to think I'm one of the best, but I've got a long way to go. But if I want to prove that, you know, it's not enough to just be like, oh, I'm one of the best writers in the horror space. Like, cool, you got to back that up. You got to let people hear you, read your work, so they can make that judgment for themselves. And so that's sort of pushing me. I have my own desires within the writing space, but as a voice actor, because I've had training and stuff, it's kind of, you know, toned out of you. It's kind of pushed out of you to be like, no, you got to just do it. You know, if you want to be anywhere, you got to just be willing to step past that concern. Like I'm still like self-conscious, and I still have my own personal doubts, but I do not worry about the performance jitters. I don't worry about what other people think. I think if you do this at any level, certainly if you have an audience that's small like mine or very large like Ronnie's, you kind of have to be willing to just either not read the comments or not care to the best of your ability. I mean, like we were talking, but you know, there's obviously authors that get bashed on like when their work's read in like Creepscast, and you know, it's nothing. It's just one of those things. It's an opinion. But I do look at that as a horror writer, as an old school mystic horror writer, and I'm like, man, how would I feel if they did this? And the right way of dealing with it is what everyone has basically done at this point, which is to not say anything. Don't give them your opinions. Don't show them you're upset, because that's going to make it worse. Like, people are sometimes not going to like your work, and they're sometimes going to be very unpleasant about it. And I would argue in horror, if it's provocative, you're probably doing something right. Everyone has an opinion on Tommy Taffy. I think there are bits of it that are very grotesque, but like, it's also a very important story. If you hear any interviews with Elias, either the one I did with him or any of them, he talks about how important it is, but also everyone remembers it. You say Tommy Taffy, everyone knows exactly what's going on there, and I think that's another mark of it. So yeah, it's really hard. We live in an age where everyone expects access to a content creator 24/7, and that they're your best friend, and that their opinion holds weight. And you know, their opinion does hold weight, just doesn't have to hold weight with the creators. So for me,
when I first,
yeah,
sorry,
no, go ahead.
When I first started, like, I'd spend sometimes 14-15 hours straight, because it's back when I was like 24 through 28. Really, I only slept every other night.
That's crazy.
So, and so there was times where obviously I had to stay up all night because I was only sleeping every other night. And during those times when I'd stay up all night, I'd usually just work for like 20 hours straight on videos. And there were times, and this is back when I was 24, 25, when I first started, I'd work for like 20 hours on a video that was like 30 minutes long, just because I was learning how to do everything. And I'd post it, and it would get like 15 views, 5 dislikes, 1 like, and then 3 really negative comments, and that was it. And it took a while to just be like I'm doing this because I want to do it, not because these people that are like trolling me, like, because I want their approval, you know. And I think that when you're trying to be like a content creator online, it's just like, it's something like growing pains. It's something you have to, like, that you will experience. You just have to like overcome and learn that as long as you're doing it for yourself, that's what really matters. I don't know if that really ties into what you were saying, but it's a continuation of what we were saying before.
No, I agree. I think, that's just something of Dusk. I put a lot of pressure on myself to make the channel good, not because I have any aspirations of being massive. The idea frightens me, to be honest with you, but just to provide people who invest their time and any money in me with good content. But I put, I also have other ventures as a commentator in wrestling. I'm very busy. I'm one of the busiest in the UK at this point, and I have goals that I want to hit, which mean I have to put more time into that. I obviously, I'm a writer first and foremost. I'm trying to finish up this first book, and obviously I want to do the NFC, and so I can't give the time as much as I want to, and that expectation's on me. No one in Dusklight has ever made me feel that way. But having been around this space for a third of my life, and the way it's evolved, and for better and for worse, and this isn't really the place for me to put my opinion on some of the minutiae of that, but certainly for me as a creator, whenever we do anything of mine on the channel, because your channel's so big, we're always going to get thousands of comments. Can't read them all, shouldn't read them all. No one should. No writer who has ever featured on a channel of your size should ever go through and read all the comments, because you can't please everybody. Some people are very unhappy, some people are very unwell, some people have very unpleasant views on things, and they're going to make sure you know about them, and they want a reaction, and it doesn't warrant a reply. I can't control if someone reads a story of mine about being trans, being non-binary. Obviously, y'all know I'm non-binary. I don't shout about it. I'm not preachy, but I'm very proud of who I am, and I'm proud of what that represents. But I will get messages and emails sometimes, people calling me slurs and, endorsing political candidates, which is a very strange thing, because I don't know why you would link those two together. And I don't respond, because it's no point giving my energy to that. If I respond to it, I give it power, I give that person satisfaction, and it could potentially dampen my ability to do the work in the future. Now, I'm only human, I'll make mistakes, but I also know that if I want to get further in this, people are going to watch, and it means anytime I get into a mudslinging contest with someone, people are watching me based on how I behave, and even if I'm justified, you've got to set an example. And so I think, you have to be very careful with, with things like that, and I would say to any writer, big or small, any creator, like content creator, whether it's in the analog community or a narrator, to the best of your ability, just don't read those comments. Some people shame you for putting your head in the sand. I won't. I frequently tell people on the streams, this world is already bad enough. It's a lot of stress, it's very divisive, and we struggle to make it day to day. And yes, you should care about what's going on in the world, but you only get one life. You only get one chance to do what you want to do. And I am going to be that person who says, be selfish. Look after yourself, because no one's going to look after you first. Then look after other people. Then always be kind. Always try and help other people. But you got to look after you and your well-being. Because whether you're a commenter or a creator, you're providing something into the world. Whether it's your positive energy to support people you like, or art to give people something to wake up to. If you let someone dampen that shine, it's not helping anybody,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, anyway, it's a bit of a long one, but yeah, I think working with Ronnie has been a blessing in the sense it helps better prepare you. When you have your work regularly put out on the channel and millions of people see it, you have to learn very quickly. Do you want to go through everything that everyone says about women being in the finals of the tournament, how it's not realistic, or gay people everywhere? Or do you want to just go, you know what? Someone said that this helped them get past an addiction problem. Someone said this helped them when they were looking after their kid during the early stages of pregnancy, post-pregnancy. I'd rather look at that. That's... I want to bring joy, and I want to bring inspiration. I want people to be inspired to do something the way I was, because the most beautiful thing you can do if you're an artist is ensure that your message is heard and that it resonates with other people. That's what I believe is the point of being an artist. If you have something to say, make sure you say it and let that message carry on to other people. So I don't know. It's something I'm very passionate about. I wouldn't do Dusklight if it was a chore, or if I had people pushing against it, or my messages or my work. There's no point. If it's not bringing me joy when I wake up, then why on earth would I give my time to it?
Right.
And I think it's the same for you though. We've talked, as creators, you have to be inspired. You especially. It's not like you sit down and just read a story. That's not what you do. You curate, you provide the composition, you provide the sound effects. There's so much that the average person doesn't understand. For all three of us, and Rom as well, they don't understand how hard it is to put it all together if you're trying to craft a multi-layered audio piece. And I know your audience, you've talked with your audience, but you have to be inspired to do that, right? You can't just, I guess you can sit down and put one out, but to do something really cool, you've got to be inspired to do it, right?
Right. Yeah, and also how inspired you are determines how you'll make it. You know, like you'll make the best work when you are inspired. I'm sure that you can do something if you had to. Like if somebody came to you, put a gun to your head, be like, make this into an audio narration. Like you'd sort of be like, well, I can't. I'm not inspired. You know, like you'd still be able to, you'd be able to do it, but like you wouldn't do your best work probably.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe it would. Maybe a gun to the head's pretty good incentive to do.
Sometimes no, I would say. I mean, just to jump in, like sometimes back to the wall, sort of like you got to do this. I mean, that's how Beneath the Static was made. I made no money. I was a first year as a full-time writer, and I was really struggling, and I was constantly churning out work. Now I take a lot more time because I'm a bit more comfortable. But it's true. Sometimes when your deadline's coming up, you got bills to pay. I think it depends.
But I agree, Ronnie. That's like also the point that I was gonna make was like you can do work when you're not inspired, but you definitely like all of the best work that I've ever felt that I have done has been because I just truly loved the story that I was reading and because I really wanted to make it the best that I could make it. And I feel like that's definitely where it comes from, is like it's the motivation to do it. Because if you're doing it because you have to, that's one thing, but doing it because you really, really want to is definitely where that creativity comes from.
We've talked frequently about that. No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, one of my favorite stories I've done is Because You Are My Baby, you know, when you were on.
Yeah.
And like that story's pretty short. It's only like 25 minutes, but I wrote 2 theme songs for that story, just because of how inspired I was by the story.
Yeah.
I think like we've talked, you know, frequently over the years about the perils of doing this as either a part-time or full-time job, and a part of you has to sort of reconcile with that. This is what you do every day. Or most of the time, you're getting up, you're doing voice work, you're writing, you're producing. But at the same time, while you have to accept part of it's your job, if you accept the whole thing as a job, now, for some people this works, I get that. But for an artist, I think if you accept that art is your job and you fully kind of knuckle down with that, I don't think it produces the best results, because if you can't have that in your space and say, I'm having fun with it, which some people, they're like, job means not fun. Some people are like that, which I totally understand. That's where the problem comes in. You know, I love that I've taken longer on this book, which you both know I've been working on. When it comes out, I think it's the best thing I've ever written. It's taken me 3 years. And I don't want every book I write going forward to take 3 years, but the longer I've spent, the NFC was written in 40 days. The Last Sin Eater was written in 3 weeks. And I love them. But there's flaws within what I'm doing there. And I think that time I take has made it better. And, you know, I think it's the same thing in terms of content creation, because there are certain peaks and valleys of certain habits. You know, you always use the same programs. You're always going to have certain songs, certain sound effects, certain visualizers, and it can be easy to fall into the mundanity of it. And I think that's where, you know, at least for you, Ronnie, I would say, like, when you're doing your own music, that's the exciting part. Like, that's getting it down and, okay, what can I do with this? Like, you know, you did one recently, and I actually told you privately about how good the music was on it. It was the Ritual one, Deep in the Woods, from like 2 months ago. And when they were sacrificing the kid, you just did this beautiful new piece, and everyone was talking about it. And I know it's because you were inspired. I think the best stuff comes out from those times, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, a little bit of a deviation there before we wrap up, but like, I feel very strongly that art is something that should be made because it makes you happy. Like, you can make it for money if you want to make it for money. I don't think that's a problem with that. We all have to survive. If you want to make it for nobody but yourself, that's fine. But as long as it brings you joy, even if it's not everything you do, if it's 1 in 3 pieces, as long as it's bringing you joy, it's got to bring you joy, I think, before it brings anybody else joy. And joy is such a complicated word, but it's got to give you something from there. I'm just going to go through the chat before we start to wind down, just because we were talking on that for a while. Phyrexian Ninja, the horror pod community is very welcoming. I would absolutely agree. And I do think we're very inclusive, and I'm very proud of who I am and what I represent. And I know that There are many people in the community who are as well. At the end of the day, we love each other, and I would want someone to feel comfortable in their own skin for who they are. And horror is, if nothing else, it's a very queer genre, and it's got history in that queerness. So I would feel very, it'd be very weird if someone who was super against inclusivity didn't like horror. I'd be like, well, you know, it might not be the genre for you. But yeah, people do have that energy sometimes, Arkham. It's just a strange thing. And A&M, that means a lot to me, that you feel seen because of me. I'm just one person. But I really hope you do well on your journey. It's not a straight line. It's up and down. It's front to back. If you go forward and you want to go further with your transition, great. If you decide it's not for you, that's also valid. Whatever works for you is what's valid. There is no right and wrong way of dealing with understanding yourself, and who you are now may not be who you are in 10 years, you know. It's a very it's a beautiful journey that everyone should go on. Self-discovery is something every human being goes on. It's just a matter of whether it's mental state, philosophy, wellness, gender. We all go on that journey, and it's the best thing you could do with your time. Ocean, my favorite part about your writing is that you include all these different types of people, but don't make their diversity the center of the story. It's kind of people your characters are. I appreciate that. I think, like, I know that diverse characters are important. I also am aware enough of the culture around me that when people put it in places where it feels forced, it can put people off. And that's really hard. That's not for me to say if that's the right way of doing it or the wrong way of doing it. But I do understand that there is a very fine difference in the two. And I don't like the W word. God, I can't stand that word. But when you see like a strong female, it's woke, I'm like, okay, whatever. But I mean, I think the NFC, no one called it that. No one ever has called it that. And it's basically the most badass people in there are Wendy, Nora, and Alduin. Everyone wants Mommy Alduin to break their skull because they look at that. It's like, oh, it's Rhea Ripley, you know? Everyone wants Alduin to crush their skull with her thighs. And I did it by not really making it a big issue. I wasn't like, no one at any point went, oh, it's women fighting? They'll never be strong. I don't need to have that conversation. You wouldn't walk up to Valentina Shevchenko or Amanda Nunes or Ronda Rousey and go, oh, woman fighting? You know, they tear your arm off before you even finish the sentence. So, same with Kraus in The Spaces in Between. I was nervous making a trans character. And I chose to do it in a Kraus way, where Kraus is very funny about it. And a lot of trans people in the community, they talk about their transition stories, and some of them do have trauma, but a lot of them use shitposting as a coping mechanism. And the biggest thing people in the community want is normalization. To have a conversation where it comes up, directly or indirectly, and everyone's like, oh, okay, moves on. You don't need to make it a big old thing, unless it's a story like that. So I want more people that are on the fence, if you will, about inclusivity of people from different cultures, people of different sexual orientations and genders, to go, oh, you know what? I like this character. Even though I don't normally like these, I want them to think about it. Channel is very relaxing after, as I mentioned before. You get quite a lot of range. Thank you so much, Gamma. PL, fuck the haters. Yeah, for sure. The very least story got to get your attention, not a story it's narrating it for narration's sake. And this is the thing, is there's a lot of people that need horror every day in their lives. That's why weekly, daily horror channels do well. And like Creeps and Jordan Group, more power to them, honestly. Like, it's a grind I could not do. But I just don't want to do that. And I think I can speak for Ronnie and for Lucy that, doing a story every day is not enjoyable.
No.
And you can't put the quality into it either. Like, I have no doubt if Ronnie wanted to do a story one day every week, he could. And by, I'm sure you could like put out, with the same soundtrack, same sound effects, but there's no more unique composition because you can't have the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
also, you would run out of stories very fast, I'd imagine. You'd kind of just have to take... Like, I don't know, I used to do one story a week, but, I had to prepare for those pretty far in advance. But if you did one every single day, I would imagine you'd just have to take any story that you get permission for.
Right.
Or you have to hire somebody to look for you for quality stuff.
Yeah.
I would imagine it would wear you down. Like, Ronnie, were you more frequent in the early ongoing?
Yeah, in the early days, I posted sometimes 2 videos a day.
Wow.
Like I have almost 1,000 videos, but I think probably the first 500 of those were uploaded in the first 2 years I was on YouTube, probably.
And that was like, was that something that like, was it exhausting to do that regularly, or was it like relative to how much time you had free?
No, actually, I was working full time as back then. It's just that it was like something new to me. It was like a fun, like I made videos as like my fun thing to do after work. So like if I wasn't working, I was working on videos because that's what I did for fun. And then over time, it become more of a thing. Like, but I also didn't put nearly as much time into videos too. I mean, well, I kind of did. Sorry, it's hard to explain because I did put a lot of time into it back then, but that was because I didn't know what I was doing. Most of the time that I spent was time spent learning things. Now that I know those things, I don't like. I still spend a lot of time on the videos, but I don't spend on the same things. If that makes sense.
I mean, it's a different area.
Exactly
right?
how it is for
yeah,
me too.
I would agree with that. When you're starting out, you're putting the same amount of effort in, but it's passion in learning everything. When you're down the line, you're still putting that effort in, but now it's on different aspects to tweak it, right? It's an art form.
Yeah.
You've just been asked, by the way. Brian Jaraguay said, Ronnie, how do you make your voice different in your narrations?
I pretty much just raise and lower the pitch of my voice. Like I'm not great at I'm not great at like making alternate voices. I think so like really just like some voices if I feel like the character has a higher pitched voice, I'll raise up the pitch of my voice. Sometimes if I think they have a lower pitched voice or like they're supposed to be older or like bigger or like more gruff, I'll just lower the pitch of my voice. And that's pretty much it because I can't do accents worth a crap. Sometimes I kind of do southern sounding voices, but that's it. And it's been a while since I've done that.
That's normally where I come in. I normally fill the gap of the generic voice acted piece that, you know, when you need something a little bit more varied. That's normally my thing. Which I think also.
Like, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the most voice acting you'll probably hear me do is in the Coyote audiobook because I had to do a bunch of characters and they're all like old Western characters. So like some of them I actually tried to do like a cowboy sounding voices for and stuff.
Audiobooks are definitely different because you have to do all of the people in it, and they can't all sound the same. I mean, they can, but
audiobooks are such a different beast though because there's different levels of expectations, and
it's true.
It's very different because it's not for your audience. You have the author's very direct intent, the director if there is one, and it's a different market. So, you know, some people are very much like, no, I just kind of want your voice and up your pitch a little bit and down your pitch a little bit. And then some people are like, no, I really want a full cast. And they're investing in you as the voice. Sometimes they'll split it with someone else, but it's very rare that you'll get more than 2 people. So, yeah, it really depends. So, yeah, for sure, I totally get that. And I think it just varies on what it is. Right, before we say goodnight, I'm just going to go through the last set of messages because we don't need 2 hours. Goodness me! So it's been a really nice birthday hangout. Then to have 20 plus people for me is just
happy birthday, by the way, dog.
Yeah, it's technically we're gonna say like if there's a stream to be had, it's my birthday. God damn it. Even if it's only 2 weeks ago now. But yeah, no, it's been lovely, and I really was looking forward to hanging out with everybody, and my biggest regret was not being able to do it on my actual birthday. I think we will try and do a stream once a month. You know, whether it'll be with me and Ronnie and Lucy, or just me, I don't know, but we'll try and do one once a month just to hang out with everybody, because it seems really nice for everyone to get involved. Someone did mention Discord. We've talked about it. Lucy and I've talked about it. I just don't know if it's something I want to do. As I've been sort of decoupling from social media over the last few years, I'm very reluctant to kind of go back into that space and have a server that then I would need to get mods for and make sure it's properly curated in a safe environment. It's a lot more stuff. I think if the community kept growing and got big, I would maybe consider it. But right now, I think I'm good. I've been toying with the idea, but Lulu and I talked about it together, and I think we would both need to be on board to some degree, and I think we're both just we don't have enough time at the moment. and I don't think that's fair. If you can't even be present in there, you know, I wouldn't want to do it for the wrong reasons. But we'll see. I'll review at the end of the year maybe. Because your server's very lovely and very active, Ronnie.
Yeah, they're all pretty chill in there.
Yeah, it's a nice one. You should check out that. Check out the Dark Somnium server. I'm in there, but I don't talk way over the Dark Gathering. Check that one out. Okay, what do we get? Where were we up to? I draw creepy stuff because of you, so thanks, guy. Now I can't make anime fan arts. That's so Gorky. So Gorky, again, big shout out. Did the background, did the rig we have for Everett now. I mean, what a beautiful, handsome man he's rendered with the background, and even the end screen we now use, where you see all the smoke come through. It's all Gorky. He did the artwork for Spiritvoices as well, and I believe he's worked with you as well, Ronnie.
Yeah, he made my character. Well, you didn't make the character, but he did this newest version of him that I have as my profile picture.
Gorky is the GOAT, so we will be working together again. Don't you worry. And then Gamma stories. Oh, sorry. The only people. Oh gosh, this is quite a few actually. Sorry about that. I love art on all its mediums: food, music, film, and listening to others create art and grow into it is amazing. Yeah, I mean, 100%. Same here. Hi, Mr. Awesome. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, PL. It's LEA for future reference, but it sounds like Lee or Lay. I get that. So don't worry. Everyone gets that differently. I don't blame you. Slake, I really appreciate you guys when uploading. The most is how much emotion you guys put into the narrations. It really brings the story to life, which I appreciate that. I think we've all got very similar ethoses that we want to make it dynamic while also being enjoyable. So yeah, that means a lot to me. Thank you. I listen to the fast horror, but I anticipate the slow burns. That's Herculean. Yeah, I would agree. Your upload schedule, Ronnie, that's Herculean, dude. That's insane for your first couple years. That's hard work.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, no kidding. My God. Gamma, stories are becoming quite scarce nowadays, and then some authors end up getting banned on Reddit out of the blue. I don't know a lot about this because I haven't been on No Sleep in years. My understanding is that they now ban people for breaking the rules, which was not how it used to be. If I'm wrong, I'll take that L. But I believe someone did talk about how they got a week's ban for breaking a no sleep rule, which is insane if that's the case for a community that is already on its not last legs, but it's very small now. I don't think they should be doing that. There's a lot of great talent.
Small legs.
Yeah, very small legs. They've been skipping leg day for a while. They're using a Zimmer frame. That's how bad their legs are. And again, like, there's very good writers, although the quality has not changed. But I think on another stream perhaps I'll talk about it. But the way horror is being consumed is rapidly changing, and writers are finding new places. And I hope somewhere pops up that is as big as No Sleep was. I really do, because there are brand new generations, like Jam Fran's a brand new writer that I've worked with on the channel a couple times. Really talented writer that, I hope they find more places to work.
Ooh, idea.
Yeah.
I'll make a website called Chicken Style Nugget Chunklet, and people can upload their stories there.
Sorry, say that slowly. Chicken Style
Nugget Chunklet.
Why?
I think I see no flaws in this plan.
Chicken Style Nugget Chunk. Is chunklet a word?
Yeah, chunklet's a word.
It sounds like the word chunkler.
It's a
when
small
someone
chunk.
gets but but a chunk is already small. That's why it's called a chunk, right? No.
Yeah, but the chunklet, it's smaller than a chunk.
It's a chunk of a chunk. Okay.
It's a subset of a chunk.
It sounds like chunkler. When you get a, you would get a slider and then we had a hit song with it. Like, I thought that's what you were referring to.
Smaller than a chunk, bigger than a crumb.
Okay, why? Can I ask? I like this. I'm in on this. Why the name? What is the name's significance here?
Sorry, what? I was calling somebody a chunklet.
What?
Was something said to me?
That's such a great. I want that as a quote. Anyone listening, if you have the Somnium wiki, please put the lead quote. Sorry, what? I was busy calling someone a chunklet. Dark Somnium in the year of our Lord, Anno Domini 2024. I asked you what the significance.
I'll get that on shirts.
What is the significance of the title of the website? I need you to explain this to me. Why that name?
Because it's like a chicken nugget, but more processed.
And this is where the horror stories
It's like
go. Yes.
you legally can't call it a chicken nugget because it's too processed. You got to call it a chicken style nugget chunklet.
And this relates to horror in because horror is like chicken nuggets.
No, because the dystopian nature of our society is a horrifying concept when you think about the fact that you can't even get chicken nuggets anymore. You got to get chicken style nugget chunklets, and that's how it ties into horror. It's like a dystopian horror thing.
I love this, to be honest with you.
You remember,
I think this will work.
Do you remember last month when you pitched a certain audio show idea to me, and I said I'll think about it? You said to me we should do a podcast where we just sit and talk shit, and I was like, that sounds cool, man. I just don't know if we'll fill the time every week. I'm changing my opinion.
I can complain about.
I'm changing my opinion, dog. I think we should do it. I think the listeners would agree we should fucking do it. That's so fucking out of pocket. If I was sleepier, I would be on your energy. But because I'm cutting weight and I'm on protein, I'm just so wired. But we will talk off air about this. We need to do this podcast. I think this is needed. I just watched our view account. What?
Did you say I can only be funny when I'm fat? Is that what you just said?
No. Why sleepy wired? I don't know. No, you are a muscly hunk of a man. I will have you know. You are not overweight. I am the overweight one out of the two of us. I probably could pass for Meat Canyon's body double at this stage, just less of a mullet. So I'm on at least to cut weight. But no, I just like the I'm just thinking of the energy that you, me, Rom, and Lucy would create, because Rom is arguably more chaotic than you when she gets a good idea. I think we need to talk about this off air and perhaps do this, because I think this would be such a good idea. I just watched our viewer count go up to like 28, and then you started on the dystopia, and the number just started dropping. It's so funny.
Wow. They don't want to know the truth. I mean, it's not my fault.
Haters can't see the truth. You know what? The nuggy discourse does actually extend to Lucy. So this is actually something that you are heavily invested in, because
I was just gonna say I'm very happy to inform you guys chickenstylenuggetchunklet.com is available as a domain name. So
we should actually I actually think we should buy it and redirect it.
I think we can make this work. Yeah.
It is not, because I actually just bought it 30 seconds ago.
Oh,
okay. This website's out of date then, sorry.
All right. So are we in agreement that we're going to redirect it to the podcast or to your channel? It's got to be a redirection.
I think we redirect it to your mama's house. Oh, fuck. Boom.
I can't dox my mama. My mama's a saint. How dare you? How dare you, sir?
We're not going to dox.
You know, 5 years of us being close friends, and that's the first your mama joke you've ever made. That's wild.
Is it?
No, it's the first one he's made to me, yeah.
Oh.
I've been holding them in.
He mostly sends me...
Saving him for the best moments.
Ronnie's love language when he wants to start a comedy back and forth is to send me increasingly blurred and zoomed in and edited pictures of his face. That's normally what he's done that to me at, like, knowing it's 5 in the morning, knowing that I'm gonna look like Limmy, opening up my phone full brightness and just seeing a really distorted Ronnie face just staring into my very soul.
Strongly edited.
But it's so him, because I'll ask him, like, what is this? And he won't respond to me till the next day. He will just leave it there, like a cat bringing a dead bird.
It doesn't need to be explained. It speaks for itself.
Yeah. So I mean,
she gets it.
The Rom arguably did even more chaotic ones of you. Like, I would get those randomly sometimes, and then they'd be even more like zoomed in. Like, I used to think they were chadified, and then I realized that's just your face. Like, you just have a Chad face.
Oh yeah.
Wild. Yeah. All right. So. I forget what my point was. That's I want to finish these messages before we say goodnight, because I don't want to leave anybody hanging. That's wild though. That is so wild. The chicken nugget chunklets. That is crispy chicken nugget
style.
I'm sorry. It's a fucking mouthful, all right? And I'm sure that's the point. The chicken nuggets would be. You know, that should be the. You know what? No, that's the fucking tagline. the website, and then
Here's
a handful. It's a mouthful.
Here's what we do.
Yeah.
We start a new series called Chicken Style Nugget Chunklets, and it's about a cyberpunk dystopian world where you work at like a KFC, but and it's kind of like Tales from the Gas Station, but you're working in this super cyberpunk dystopian KFC, and you talk about all the crazy stuff that happens.
Listen, I do commissions for you. If you want me to write a story where it's I work at a place called CSNC, our chicken nuggets are a bit unusual, I will write that, and I will put it in Sturgeon. I'll make it canonical.
Oh my
god! And I will do it, and I will intentionally make sure that the characters are really weird to voice. Like, I will make sure whoever Lucy voices is very strange.
Naturally.
All right.
That makes sense.
All right. Well, gang, you heard it here first. It might not be the next story that goes out of mine on the channel, but there will be a No Sleep-esque style Tales from the Gas Station style story called I work at a place called Chicken Style Nugget Chunklets, and not all our food is normal. Something like that. And it will, I mean, I've wanted to write comedy for a while, and to be fair, this is probably the most accurate and detailed commission you've ever given me in 4 years. So I welcome this. This is a direction I can take it in.
God.
I probably will have to put Callista in here somewhere though. Like, I feel I did have to be like a Dino Nuggies or something. Okay, we got a tweaker. All right, okay. This is good. This is going places. All right. I'm gonna say this so that we don't overrun too much. Next stream I do. How about this, gang? How about this? I will do a stream. Let me look at my schedule. I will do a stream 2 weeks from now, Friday the 27th. And on that stream, if I can get these two in, or at the very least get Ronnie in, I'll run this story's concepts, characters, to plot, to ideas through you guys. We'll outline it together, and then I will write it, and then it will go up, and it will be a Dusklight-led initiative project. How does that sound? If we're gonna do this, let's make this chaotic. Let's just really get weird with it.
I wrote it down on my calendar.
My whole idea. I registered the domain.
It's still your. I mean, if you could give me all the ideas, I'd welcome that. But we both know that it will be a lot of phone tag to get to that point, and I would like this out as a gift to you for the gift you have given me of this strange domain. I'd like this done by Halloween for you.
You'll see me rolling in my casket before I answer my phone.
I know. I'm aware. I think we're both aware. And I hear from you more frequently than most people. But I think if we could get on a stream, I might welcome this into the community, because again, it would be another thing for Chat Initiative to, within certain confines. Not every idea will be used, because that opens a very dangerous door that I don't want to peek through. But I've got a couple of ideas. I will not show any plot points on the stream, because I want it to be, if we're going to do this, I want it to be unique for when Ronnie posts it, but we can spitball some ideas together. This is probably going to be like burger entries, but funnier. That's probably the vibe we want to go for.
I've written stream date on my calendar already, so just so you know.
All right.
Funnier and slightly less gross.
I don't think it'd be gross.
Yeah.
I feel that we can, again, we will, if we can, all three of us can do this on the 27th, we will sit down, we'll let we'll agree on the confines of what we want. I will start writing, and it'll be your jobs to go through the chats and give me suggestions, and we will fill that 2-hour stream with, like, conversations about other stuff, like we've done today. But 27th, 7 p.m. EST.
I was gonna say, it is you're saying it's a week from today, yes?
2 weeks. 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today. Okay, that's the day before on ours, for us, because we're...
Oh.
What?
Because it's past midnight for you.
We're not in the future. We're not future people like you.
Yeah, it's past midnight for you, so it'll be it's Friday for you, but for us it's Thursday. So it's the 26th.
I always, sorry gang, I always forget when I go to America I have to turn my watches back 300 years. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
right.
I know.
That's really unfortunate. It will. I will say, I can tell you this just based on the established canon. This will be something under the Sturgeon Farmers Collective. Has to be, because they control the food in Sturgeon. But the last time we did a weird fucking Sturgeon style story, which was Rom did, and I think you did it as well, actually. It was like really well received for how stupidly strange it was. But I will check to make sure it's actually gonna be like, because we may not do it in Sturgeon. I need to talk to Ronnie about that. But if we do, it'll be a Sturgeon Farmers Collective piece. But I can do Delightfully Weird without it being in there anyway. But I will, at the very least, ensure some Nightmare Detectives characters turn out. Like Paint Gunkerson will have to make an appearance somewhere.
Oh god.
Have to.
Paint Gunkerson?
You know,
Yes.
I told you about Paint Gunkerson, no? Paint Gunkerson
Oh yeah, okay.
of Paint Accessories and Paint Emporium. He's he's a ginger paint tweaker. He drinks paint and it has special properties.
You know what? There's a story I wrote a while ago called Amazing Deals at Uncle Ronnie's Chuckle Bunker, and it's the main antagonist is called the Fish with Man Hands.
I remember this. Yes, I remember this.
Uncle Ronnie's Chuckle Bunker.
Yes, yes.
I
That's
think
a
that's
classic
I
reference.
think that's the name of the podcast. I think you've just given away the name of the podcast. Uncle Ronnie's Chuckle Bunker. Bro, no, that's gotta be the.
I need to work on. I need to work on episode 2 of that. Yeah, I posted the first one on my channel a while ago.
I'm gonna go and listen to that when we're done
remember
here.
this.
But also, like, you could literally go, "Hey guys, welcome to Uncle Ronnie's Chuckle Bunker. Let's see who's in the bunker today." Like, it's a perfect segue for a podcast. That's
like
wild.
Mr. Rogers, but like on ketamine.
Yeah, there you go.
Phyrexian Ninja, Paint Gunkerson is in, if you go back to the playlist, the Nightmare Detectives, pretty much in from episode 1. Like, Paint Gunkerson is pure chaos. Like, honest to God,
Yep.
like, he is my, he's kind of my version of like a meth dealer, but less harmful. I don't,
That's
I
a
mean,
way to describe
tell me another way of comparing Paint Gunkerson in real world terms.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Well, say his catchphrase.
Yeah, I want some paint.
There you go.
He's just
That's it.
he's delightful, but he is pure chaos. And like a lot of things in D&D, he like he started as a joke, and then everyone was paint. Okay, Chris just mentioned Paint Jesus. He started as a joke, and then he became an established character that everyone loved. So at one point, like one of the characters drank his special paint, and they started seeing Paint Jesus, but they did the wrong paint, and they saw Paint Satan, who like started stabbing him in the balls.
Balls. Oh,
yeah, I think
What a choice.
I think it was the balls. I don't remember. A lot of what I do in that game is improv because it kind of has to be. But like, basically, he makes paint instead of moon. That's such a good idea. Not meth. Meth is too strong. Moonshine. There we go. Not something we have in my country. That's why I didn't think of it. But yeah, he's like a bootleg moonshine dealer. And then I decided in the Fractal Hunt, this really serious like Avatar Last Airbender, all the elements come together, that paint would be one of the elements. Because just why the fuck not? Why not have Paint Gunkerson be a secret, like, next level powerful creature? He's just wonderful. But anyway, yes. Uncle Ronnie's Chuckle Bunker, legitimately, I as much as it's nice to call it like the Somnium Gathering or nah man, Uncle Ronnie's Chuckle Bunker for a horror narration podcast. That's it. That's
where
it.
it's at.
You know, I think I'd like also for the chicken style nugget chunklet video. I would like a character who's essentially like Billy Mays but schizophrenic. I think that'd be pretty great.
So Billy Mays.
It's like that. I never met him. Maybe is he schizophrenic? I hope so.
He's dead, so I mean, I don't think you'll have a chance to meet him, unfortunately.
I'll find a way.
I mean, you could find a. You know what? That's fine. Billy Mays schizophrenic. Okay. I mean, yeah. I guess. I mean, I can. You know what? Let me make another note. All right. We're Billy Mays. I'm just putting this in my chat with Lulu. Billy Mays, but schizophrenic. So you would want him offering the chicken style nugget chunklets.
Maybe he could be like I work at the register and he also works at the register, but he's like super enthusiastic about his job because he's crazy and he annoys my character, like the main character. He's like, oh yeah, I work with this guy who like
can
takes
I voice
his job
this
too
character?
seriously. Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
because I feel I can bring that energy. So, you know, like, I'm almost thinking of the boss from Smiling Friends, if you've seen that.
Yeah, who hasn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm feeling like, you know, someone who's like, you know, like, at one moment he's like, you know, selling really passionately, like, you know, hi, welcome to Chicken Style Nugget Chunklets. You want to have some of these? You want a 3-piece, a 5-piece? I'll put these on my balls on here if you really want these. And then turns to you. And turns to you, but then he's like, why are you talking shit about the Chicken Style Nugget Chunklets?
That sounds good, but that doesn't really sound like a schizophrenic. That sounds like somebody who's on, like, fucking meth.
Well, the idea being manic highs, manic lows. I mean, well, also, like as in, it's a switch up of personality, I suppose, is what I was kind of going for. So he starts really passionately, but again, we'll workshop it. Maybe, I mean, I can't say I've played a schizophrenic character before, to my knowledge, so I would probably need to do some research. But yes, we could go for something like that. Yeah, I can do that. He needs to have a really wild name, though. He has to have a wild name, like one word, and it's like not a normal name, like we do with Payne Gungson, because like what made Gas Station was Marlborough, right? His name isn't Marlborough; it's like his nickname. But we would need to have something like that, I think. Right. Manic, crazy character.
Speaking of Gas Station, you know, Mr. Creepypasta did Tales from the Gas Station, and he's going to be in the next part of Baraska. That's going to be fun.
Yo, oh god, you said the word. You said the cut. I wasn't going to bring up Baraska Part 5. I thought you didn't want to talk about that.
But Mr. Creepypasta is going to be in that, so that's fun.
That'll be good.
That is fun. Yeah, that's exciting.
Also, just seen a message from Go On Git. I just now was able to drop in, and first thing I hear about is meth. I'm all in. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, apparently this is where we're at in the birthday stream.
Right. Once you pass the 2-hour mark, things really start.
You really did it to yourself inviting me here. I'm just.
Well, you're one of my. I mean, you're one of my best friends. Of course, I'm gonna want you here. This is the chaos that I crave. This is. To be fair, when we're not talking about work, this is kind of what we do. Oh, okay. Slate's got it. So you mean the guy's like, get out of my head, get out of my head, that guy? Because we could do that. But the thing is, that's very abrasive.
Spit? That's DJ Spit.
Yeah, DJ Spit, yeah.
Put some respect on his name, damn.
I couldn't remember his name, but like if we did DJ Spit, that's bad audio long term. If we're playing this character a lot, that would not be. We got to make him like listenable for like long periods if he's like a supporting character. So we can find something where his.
Yeah.
Lots of Smiling Friends comparisons in the chat going on right now.
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah, I mean we should probably do a glip. We probably do need a glip character.
Yeah. How about let's just do Smiling Friends? Let's just do that.
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just do that, and then no, that's a good idea. Let's just do Smiling Friends, and then just have Michael Cusick and Zach just you know eventually DMC a strike us. Then we know we made it. Perfect. Yeah.
And then rename it to Chicken Style.
I'd like to see him cry. Yeah, that's right.
I will go in a very. I mean, I know kind of the vibe we're going for. I probably will write a lot of this with sleep deprived because I think that's when I'm going to get my best work done. Also, Nightmare Detectives alumni and legend Chewie. Am I too late to harass Lucy? Never.
God damn it.
Oh, Pim.
No.
Like, well, Pim's not schizophrenic. You mean like I love kids, Charlie. I love kids. Yeah, we could. Yeah, that's fine. We could do that.
Hey, you sound just like him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's an easy voice to do. Like I used to do. I'm not doing it on this stream because just doing it on Kamal be cringe. But I could do the I could do the back and forth between Charlie and Pim. Also, we could do Dennis with the implication. Oh gosh, if you haven't seen that, go and look up Dennis. It's Always Sunny. They can't say no because of the implication.
Yes.
That's more psychopathy, but we could do that. We could definitely do. We could have a fry cook do that.
You're not considering the smell.
I'll just
I've
spend.
Never seen that show.
Oh, It's Always Sunny's great, but we
so
could,
good.
We could just spend. I'll just spend a couple minutes just reading through these messages as Pim. Why not? All right. So, Ride for Exian Ninja says, "Hey, I got my vehicle license after my horse saddle license. That's great for Exian. Well done, yay!" Changeling says, "Def a Sturgeon style contract to work at the Chunklet franchise. I love working at the Chunklet franchise. It makes me really, really happy. Hello, everybody. Hello."
That's good.
That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I like to think
Impressions are so fun.
I like to think I earned my keep at the Somnium family recording. Yeah, I do my best.
Oh.
Trying. Tweak would be good. We could do. There are all right. Listen. We can't spend all night doing this. We will. 27th of September, same time, 7 p.m. Which will be hopefully perfect because Ronnie, you'll have an upload probably on that day. 6 p.m. You'll have an upload on that day probably. Lulu, I'm sure I can get you around. We've got enough time. We will meet back here. Everyone remember where we left off. Everyone remember where we stopped. And we will come back here, and we'll call it. In fact, the stream will be called Uncle Ronnie's Chuckle Bunker. I'll pay Ronnie a fee to use that.
Damn straight. I was literally about to start litigation. It's a good thing you said that.
He's drawing up the contract as we speak.
Here's the thing.
As we speak.
Can you listen? There's only like 20 of you, so it's fine. But can you imagine if Ronnie just went live on the Dark Somnium? Thousands of people come in to Uncle Ronnie's Chuckle Bunker, and it's just us talking about like just picking back up. That would be insane. That would be.
Yeah, if it was just us just picking back up. Yeah.
Right where we left off. I will say.
Oh, where we left off. Okay.
I will say, TJ, telling me and Ronnie to remember something with that amount of accuracy 2 weeks from now is a really tall order,
I know.
Like, right? As you said that, I was like, remember what? What are you talking about?
I mean, in fairness, this is all three of us though. This is if you guys ever want to window a small crack in the door into what our work friendship life is like, it is an abundance of, hey, how you doing? Then 12 hours later, oh, I'm good, yeah. What did you need done? 2 days later, yeah, I kind of need this lift, that's cool. 3 days later, what were you talking about?
Like
Sorry.
now?
Yeah.
Can I get it right now?
Yeah, literally, and then it's like midnight the next day. Oh, hey, yeah, can I get that thing done right now? I was like, it's 6 a.m. here. Yeah, no, I really need it done. Like, this is what we do to each other. It's constant. Like, you have to be committed to a close friendship with someone to do this. I love the way it is at this point. Like, it is like family. So I've no hang-ups, but man, this is what our friendships have been for like 5 years of just phone tag punctuated by the occasional very long phone call and then more phone tag.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
But honestly, we still somehow get all of the work done. We still, like, you know, credit to Ronnie where it's due, because like videos still go out on time. Shit gets still done. So
yeah.
For the most part, these last 2 months have been whack, but
yeah, but that's not down to anything other than you had stuff going. I mean, the same thing with Dusklight. Like, I haven't been uploading. I mean, you know, don't look at Spiritvoices. There's nothing been uploading on that channel.
It's been a year and a half.
I looked earlier.
It's been a year and a half.
Disgusting. No, I'm
joking. My channel has cobwebs.
Why aren't you letting YouTube rule your life? Why doesn't the algorithm rule you? God.
Well, I mean, you know, it did for a while, and then I decided to step back. I will be coming back to it. I'm looking into it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, coming back. Wow, one day. Yeah.
And in the meantime, nobody look over here. No, just.
That's why Lucy does these lives here. It's a reverse leech. It's the bigger channel leeching off the smaller channel to be like, I'm relevant. I'm still here.
Still here. I'm still alive. I promise. You guys remember me?
I feel that you literally anytime you go on like any of these like subreddits or anything like that, they mention you, though. Even now, your channel still gets recommended. Like, people still recommend you on the channel. They don't forget you. Trust me. They like you or Rom.
Good.
And Rom hasn't uploaded in a while. This is it. Like, I don't think anyone could forget you. What is playing right now? It's the Shenmue theme. It's a bit sad. Let's move that. Yeah, I think like it's just, you know, we've had a lot going on at the over the summer. And that's kind of the point of doing the stream as well as uploading. I mean, obviously, please check out Tortoises and Tarots. Lulu is playing Elizabeth, the main role, and it's a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll have another part up in a couple of weeks. Obviously, Patreon gets them a little bit early. What I'm going to try and do when I have content that needs to go up to the Patreon early, I'm going to try and do a regular narration. Obviously, we've still got stuff at the Dark Somnium. You'll normally find me doing a voice or two over there. and sometimes it'll be my work. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, it's this is chaos, and this is what happens when it gets to like nearly 3 in the morning. And this is why I am all on the idea of doing a podcast. I think it's actually such a good idea.
But see, there's not really an excuse for me and Ronnie because it's not 3 in the morning for us. It's like
no, but
it's
this is the
only
energy
like
bring.
It's even worse. It's the afternoon. Gross.
Right. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's 9:45 for me, but like our time differences just go so far back.
Is that ball of fire still in the sky where you are, Ronnie?
Yes.
So it's still bright out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's only 6 in here. Yeah, it's only 6:40 here.
Oh, that's
yeah,
disgusting.
Isn't it funny how the world works?
Yeah, I don't like that. Phyrexy Ninja, is Hotel Inertia getting a release? Yes, it is. Once we hit 10k subs, I will hopefully be trying to like write the rest of Hotel Inertia and finish it. Obviously, it probably would have hit 10k if I'd been consistent with content, but I haven't been. But yeah, I am writing it. I will say now, it probably won't be till next year. I have a deadline for my first novel, which has to take priority. Once that's done, the next thing is Hotel Inertia, then NFC Season 2 sometime in the spring, summer next year. Again, I'm probably not going to release the... Hotel Inertia will, but the NFC Season 2, something to just note real quick. Burying this at the end of a 2.5-hour stream, very sensible. NFC Season 2 probably won't get any more physical releases, not right now. I will probably write all of it and then hand it to Ronnie, and then we'll work on it, and then I'll put it out. I don't think I'm not on. There's nowhere for it to really go now. You know, Reddit is dead, and that audience has likely moved over here. So it's better in the long run for the channel, for the exclusivity, that I write it all up, and then when the time comes, sometime next year, we will start work on it, which means everyone gets it at the same time. I don't want too many people going in with spoilers, because what happens at the end of NFC Season 2 is a massive, massive spoilerino that, you know, leads into the final bit. But basically, the hope would be next year we finish this quote-unquote saga of the of Sturgeon before I figure out, you know, where I'm taking it from there. But yes, Hotel Inertia will be done sometime in the new year. So yeah. Anyway, there are so many comments. I hope I haven't missed too many of them. But this has been wonderful. This has been just absolute delight on all fronts. And consistently 20 people, which I can tell you now, guys. Lulu and I did the first stream way back when the channel was in its infancy, before I had to abandon it for a bit. And I think we got like 5 people. And those 5 people were wonderful, and I think most of them popped in again today. But to get like 20 people on a channel like mine is just really cool, and everyone's been so passionate and so friendly. Thank you to everybody for the donations. Thank you for everyone's activity. Yeah, well, you now know when the next stream is. The details of which we've got some bits about. We'll figure out from there. And yeah, I will look to see you all in the new week. There'll be new Nightmare Detectives, a new non-Patreon story, and then obviously more Tortoises and Towers. As you know, you don't need me to tell you to check out Dark Somnium. You're all from Dark Somnium. You all came here from there.
I doubt any of them know who I am.
They know where their butter. They know where their bread is buttered, and of course, you can find Lucy on Spiritvoices, but don't look over there. Apparently, please don't look over there.
Don't look over here. I'm redecorating.
Yeah, redecorating very, very slowly, and the skeletons may or may not be real. But yeah, this has been a wonderful birthday live stream, and I really hope you enjoyed the latest offering. And I will see you all in 2 weeks. Thank you so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.